then we have our regular CSS link. And then of course the script at the bottom, that's for JavaScript or whatever. Anyway, could you put those in a different order as far as in the HTML document? Because they're not actually.
Nope, that's why the order matters.
That's the convention, even if, so if I switch the order because I'm a rogue and troublemaker and I would totally confuse everything. It wouldn't know what to override. And
if you switch the order and put your style sheet before Bootstrap style sheet, Bootstrap styles would show up and not yours. If you target the same class in both style sheets. So the Bootstrap style sheet, say you pull like a Bootstrap style, like navbar, whatever, navbar brand, that's a Bootstrap class. If you target navbar brand in your style sheet, but you import your style sheet before Bootstrap, Bootstrap's going to be the last one there, and it's going to be like, ah, it's me, not you, and that's it. Like, it's going to show the Bootstrap one instead of yours. So that's why generally, like all the time, the order matters. It's up to you on, I guess, like what you feel is more important. But when you're importing something like Bootstrap, they have so many classes and so many things styled that it doesn't make sense to import yours before that one, because they're going to have all their styles already there, and then you can customize that with your own style.
Kick out the ones maybe you don't want rather than reinvent the wheel. But and I have no intention of doing the rogue thing. I was just
curious. No, but that's fine. That's how that works.
So normalize, then the Bootstrap one, then the CSS.
Yes.
In the HTML head there.
Yes.
Ariel has a question.
Yep,
She has her hand raised, and then Shah and Flabilia have questions in the chat if you have time.
Yep, I have plenty of time.
Okay, all right.
Ariel,
Ariel,
you can ask her.
Is there, so I was watching the replay from yesterday, and there was some confusion with the Git, obviously, and sending the push-pull. Is there a way that we can just, and I don't want to take up time, go over that briefly when we're doing this today? Because, like, for example, I have 49 changes to commit, and I shouldn't have 49. I don't know if that's what I did earlier, and it's trying to do both, or what's going on there.
What folder are you in?
I'm in mine. I'm in the my code. I made sure after yesterday to be in mine. It's my code. It's everything from the replay from yesterday. But it's showing 49, and I'm like, when I go through it, it's got everything's crossed out but green.
Yep, that means you've either moved it around so it registers as like deleted and then recreated somewhere else. But is your my code folder in your personal GitHub?
It should be, if that's what we did with Matt.
Then that's all that is.
Had issues.
Yeah, so that's all that is that's code that you can push up to your GitHub repo, and it's not going to mess with like the teacher code base. That's like your personal code.
Okay, so even though that folder is open, because I haven't edited anything in those, I haven't even, it's open, but I haven't even touched them. So it shouldn't do anything to your actual code base stuff.
Nope.
It'll just do mine.
As long as you're in your my code folder. Oh my God, I'm so sorry about the sun. Then you should be fine. We can take a look at it at the end of class if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to verify before I hit push on anything.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, I can help you look during the break if that's easier, so you don't have to stay late. It's up to you. Oh my God. Okay. All right. So let's do a quick stand up like we always do. Oh wait, who had the questions? Sorry.
So Shah's question was, is there an easy way to fix the line break issue in VS Code?
Oh, hey, Donna.
I don't think that was a question. I think he was just saying that there was an easy
Sorry for the confusion. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Okay.
So I fixed mine.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Fabilia was saying that she had a problem with the navigation bar.
Yes, I got the little hamburger icon on mine, but when I shrink the screen down to its smallest size, that's all I see is the C2 and then the little hamburger thing. When I pull it out, nothing happens. It doesn't drop down or anything.
So you're probably missing the JavaScript tag. Here, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Yep. You are, I'm pretty sure, like 95% sure this is the problem. So give me a second. So, sorry, I need to get oriented here.
That's okay. Because it was driving me crazy.
Yep. So at the bottom of your code, you should have underneath your header, which like it won't be the header at the end of the class. It'll be like it'll be like the end of like your whole page, right before the closing body tag.
Okay.
You should have this whole script tag right here with source, integrity, and a cross origin attribute.
Can you make that a little bigger?
Yep.
Okay.
And
I actually have that.
you have all those parts because somebody yesterday had the same problem and they were actually missing like this part.
Okay, I'll recheck it because I did a copy and paste of that part.
Yeah, I had to recopy and paste it. Actually, Kaitlyn found out that
Okay.
was my issue. So I just went to Bootstrap and recopied the link and then repasted it, and then it was working again.
Okay,
So hopefully that
thanks.
helps your issue.
Thank you. I'll
And
try that on the break.
yep, so you want to make sure you just hit this like copy button for the bundle, for the JavaScript bundle in the introduction
Okay.
section.
Gotcha.
Yep. So it's just the functionality of the button. The button doesn't know what to do because the JavaScript isn't there. So that's
Okay.
all. But your other code seems like it's fine because the nav is collapsing and those links are there. The button just can't open. So
Okay.
so you should be okay otherwise. And if that's not the
Okay.
problem, then I can look at it with you. And
Okay, thanks.
yep,
Thanks, ladies.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Sean.
Yes. Hi, Dan and Kaitlyn. Can I share my screen because Susan and Lynn asked how I did that. So, I mean, I can type it up, but it will take me 5 minutes. It will be maybe 1 or 2 minutes.
Are you talking about formatting, Shaw?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let me share my screen quickly. Oopsie.
I have to stop first. There you go.
Oh, okay, thank you. So share this code, share. Oh, great. Do you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Yep, you're good, Shaw.
Perfect. So if you see line 9, so we pasted this, it goes all the way across. Similarly, if you look at line number 45, it goes all the way across. So 2 ways, I mean, as far as I know, 2 ways you can do this. First, if you go to the view menu and toggle wardrobe, click this, then it will automatically move and fit it to your screen size. So now you see, I mean, it fits my screen. If I shrink my screen or change the size, oops, yep, you see?
So your screen, we can actually only see your VS Code. So I don't know what setting that you were clicking on to click view menu. Were you clicking at like the top?
Yes, stop, yeah, view menu.
Okay, view, and then edit layout, editor layout.
Nope.
Appearance.
You're just gonna go to toggle word wrap.
Toggle wardrobe.
It should be unchecked, and if you check it, it will
Mine-
wrap. Your,
It should
I
be
can't
checked.
even click
Yeah,
on
if
mine.
you
Mine's
check
like
it, yes.
private to click. Like it's faded or whatever you want to call it.
Okay,
It's okay.
No, okay. Now, do you see my screen? Change the setting.
We can only see your VS Code. We can't see like your whole screen.
Oh, all right. So view menu, then toggle wardrobe. Just
Yeah,
check
no, I
this
see
one.
it. I see it. I just can't click it because
Oh, you can't
I don't-
like, okay.
yeah.
Okay. So this work, but the thing with this setting is if I close this and if I go back, then what happens is it goes back to the default. So because the default setting is different, so it reverts back to the default. So what we need is to make it default so you don't have to do it for each and every session or window. So click on code, the first menu, preferences, settings, and then type wrap, W-R-A-P. So you have a lot of options, but option number 3, where it says editor, wardrobe, off is the default, so that's why it goes across. So click on should be selected, and basically this is it. So so now it's fixed, and if I close VS, reopen, yep, it's fine, nothing changes. So again, that was code, VS Code preferences settings, WRAP, option number 3, editor. It should be on. The default is off.
Okay, got it.
So this should fix that issue.
So it just,
All right, that is it.
Thank
So
you,
let
Shah.
me leave.
I'm sharing my screen for the part that Shah was just describing,
Oh, perfect. Yeah, perfect.
so you guys can see where the setting is. If you just go to code and preferences and settings, you can get to this search and you can type the word wrap, and then you will want to turn this setting on.
Which setting, Caitlin?
It's editor : word wrap.
Do we have to save it, or does it automatically save?
It saves.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm.
Thank you, Shah. Thank you, Caitlin. That was very helpful.
No worries. No worries.
Does anybody else still need this? Okay. Okay. We'll do a quick stand up and then we'll get coding. Does anybody have anything to share?
I actually
do.
had a question.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I just couldn't find the raise hand. Go ahead.
It's something everyone's probably already aware, and it's a commercial it's been on, but it just struck me last night in the context of things. Spectrum, they offer a lot of services, and this is not a commercial. But it's, they have a thing where on your phone, you can get audio description of what you're watching on your TV. So it's designed for the blind and visually impaired. And I don't know what that has in coding or, what's involved in it, but the other day, it just suddenly struck me, oh yeah, we've been talking about accessibility for that population, and it's just an example of that. So I wanted to share.
Cool. Thank you. Who else? I think Ariel.
Yeah, sorry. It wouldn't, like, my buttons were not working on the bottom. So Apple, when you get into your app store on your iPhone, it'll come up with spotlight apps. And one of them that actually came up, I saved a couple of days ago, was this Universe website builder. And he talks about how it goes off the grid system. It started with, I apologize because I'm scrolling looking for the right thing here, off of HyperCard made by Apple in '87. So it's showing the grid that they're going off of for iPhone is 3 columns and 5 rows. So my first question is that typical, or is that for this type of app? And my second question is, what does that mean? Granted, I've been doing this for 3 years, but everybody had pushed towards page builders. What does that mean? Is that more of just a design thing and doesn't really affect the development part of it? Like, is that a career? Is that an issue for us? Or is that something that's like, I mean, obviously everybody from Cohort 1 got jobs, so you guys are still needed, we're needed, but what are the chances that there's going to be a big push on this again after like Wix and Elementor and Beaver Builder and things like that?
Before you answer, can you turn on closed captioning, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mhm. hold on. I gotta stop sharing really quick. Okay. All right, I think we're good. Can you see? Okay, cool. So that's a really good question, Ariel. I wouldn't be concerned about not having work to do. I think there's plenty that can't be done using things like that, using tools like that. I'm not like 100% familiar with a lot of that kind of stuff because I never used like web builders or like other types of like Wix or WordPress. Like I've never like really utilized those types of sites. So I don't have a lot of insight on like how they really work and like how much they can do and how much they can't do. And so I feel like somebody who would probably know would be, I know like Dana uses WordPress, Max might be more familiar with things like that. Just like the like really technical stuff, but I'm not really well versed enough to have like a super opinion on stuff like that. But it's definitely interesting that it's coming back around, and I think like I feel like lately a lot of people are getting into like coding and web development. It's like this huge thing, like in schools and stuff, especially where like we're pushing a lot of it onto kids, and it's a very useful skill to have because it makes you incredibly well-rounded. But the really technical like web development and stuff that you would do in a full-time job is more than just being able to create a basic web page, like a static web page. And so a lot of the things that you're going to be working with, a lot of the tools you're going to work with, like React, is very dynamic and it's always changing. And it's incredibly powerful. And it's not just like, you know, static website building. So I take it with a grain of salt. It's definitely super interesting to follow though, and see kind of like what comes of that. But
now with the grid, and that might be something maybe for
the 3-column
one of the
grid.
other- Yeah, is that typical? Because I didn't notice it in the other things, or is that something that as time goes on might adapt again and change now that they have the newer technology for everybody to do it themselves? Is this something that we're looking at potentially in 5 years? The grids could change, or the way we're formatting could change.
I would say like anything's possible. Honestly, like technology and code is always changing. It's always evolving to what fits best. Can you like send a link to what that was so I can look into it? I'm really curious and intrigued about like.
Just
I
add to the
saved it.
conversation that there are people who specialize in visual design, like font spacing, white space,
Yeah.
how much of the grid to use or not to use. So I think it just depends. I think that if you're with a larger company, they will already have a well-established style sheet flow that they want you to follow. Whereas if you are a smaller company and you have license to be creative, at the end of the day, you choose which tools you want to use. But I would say that overall, the grid system across the board, you know, with the internships and the jobs that I have, it's pretty much tried and true. And people break that up as they see fit. But yeah, just know that there have been studies done, and there are people who just devote their lives to space, layout, font, and pictures, and what is the best way to lay things out for whatever audience you're trying to grab based on whatever elements you might have there, whether it's a static picture versus video versus whether or not you're trying to sell music and so on. So part of it just depends on what the website is and who the audience is and what message you're trying to get across.
Okay, thank you guys. And I sent that over in Slack. So if you can't open it, I can screenshot it, but I know it's like, it came off my iPhone, so I'm not sure about the opening permissions.
And you definitely want to hit Christy up with that because Christy does a lot of work in that area.
Yeah, good points, Dana. Thank you for your insight on that. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about or share? People who went to Open Hack last night, maybe want to share how that was.
That was great.
I liked it. It was fun. It was nice to meet other people who are out there working, and
Yeah.
everyone was really friendly. And I don't know, everyone's so enthusiastic about having new people get started. It's so nice.
Yeah, Mike was stoked. I messaged him and I was like, I'm bringing a bunch of people. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's great. So yeah, that was a good time. It was a good time.
Oh, my favorite thing about Open Hack was the fact that we all were strangers, besides like our classmates and stuff. But it really felt like we knew these people already. So it was very engaging. It was a lot of fun. The vibes were good. So I had a lot of fun, and I plan on attending the next Open Hack. I suggest anybody who didn't attend it attends one or multiple, because it was a lot of fun. And I feel like once COVID gets back to normal or whatever, that'll be a lot of fun to meet these people in person as well.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a really welcoming community. So there's nothing to be afraid of. I'm glad you guys all had fun.
I think through your networking, it will make the job search process easier.
Yeah, it definitely does.
So if you have any aspirations for getting a job in Syracuse or Onondaga County, you will make it your business to attend some of these local meetups. If you have time, definitely, if you get an invitation to join in on a project, you may not know exactly what to do, but they usually form teams, and people will teach you along the way things that you don't know, or things that you may know, that you may not know a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it all started for me, I think for the majority of us.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Jason, you want to say something?
Sure, yeah, sorry. Yeah, definitely just wanted to echo what Dana was saying. I know, as I've been talking to students, definitely want to encourage you guys, if you did meet someone that you wanted to learn more about, feel free to ping them on Slack, message them like, hey, it's really nice to meet you. Even if it's not like, hey, do you want to be my mentor? Just like, hey, it was nice to meet you. I really appreciate learning about, whatever you're working on. And then just to kind of slowly build that contact, so definitely wanted to encourage you guys for that. And also just a quick plug, if folks are struggling with any areas, wanted to let you guys know you can always schedule kind of one-on-one help with instructors or TAs if people are having, difficulty with any of the material. So please, reach out to them or myself to set that up. Obviously want to encourage folks to always go to the weekend, the office hours, but sometimes there's certain stuff with GitHub or other stuff that just might take a few times. So don't want anyone to feel bad for needing to reach out or wanting to reach out for that. And that's all. Thanks, Kaitlyn.
Jason, just to add to what you were saying, behind the scenes, we are getting ready to present to students a form that they can go to where they can see who the mentors are and start scheduling those one-on-one help times. I want to say tutoring, but that's so collegey. Help, yeah, tutoring. So all of the instructors and TAs, we're putting that together as you speak. And so hopefully within the next day or so, I'll be pinging you all in Slack so that outside of office hours, if you need additional help, you will be able to work one-on-one with a mentor of your choosing, or someone will be assigned to you if you're not sure who to pick.
All right. Anybody else? Going once. All right. That's it. I'm done. I'm only counting to one. All right. So I need to share my screen again, I think. I'm going to show you a couple things tonight before we actually start coding. One of the things I'm going to show you is I did post a homework assignment that's due sometime tomorrow. It's due like tomorrow at midnight. I'm not like super hard and fast about deadlines. Whenever you get it in, you get it in. It's not a big deal for this one. I just put it there to help give you a guide. So this one is the one we talked about yesterday, where you're gonna create like a simple HTML page Try to use at least 3 of the Bootstrap components and classes that they have with them. Try to override some of the Bootstrap styling with your own by creating and linking a style .css file as well. And then if you can, either you can screenshot or upload the files here and just try to hit these 3 bullet points right here, these questions, these questions. So what components or classes you use, if you have any questions or had any trouble, and then anything extra that you did or anything that you're proud of. Just something positive that you got out of this. That's all. Just have fun. You can make it like super ugly if you want. You can make it really pretty. You can make it based on your capstone if you need inspiration. You can do something completely different. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't have to be like a super big deal. It's just extra practice with Bootstrap on your own. Any questions about that? Okay.
I thought homework was due on Sundays or no?
Yeah, you can make it, you can turn this in anytime, Corey. I'm seriously, like, I'm not worried about it. I know some people
Okay.
prefer to have some
I
sort
was
of
reading
like
Classroom and got kind
timeline.
of confused.
But I'm not gonna be like, Corey handed it in 20 hours late. I can't believe
I
it.
hate that tag
don't
that says I handed it in late. That's
Yeah,
okay.
I don't care about that. That's fine. Whenever you get it done, even if you don't finish it, if you're really struggling, turn in what you have. It's okay.
I did today. Thanks.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I'm totally okay with it. And I know a couple of you reached out about the first homework in Free Code Camp was like not saving your progress. It's fine. Don't freak out about it. It's okay. It's for you, not for me. So just remember that homework is for you and for practice. But the weekend homework, I really want you to try to do. And I also posted that. I made it like all caps so you guys can see which one it is.
Okay.
Just so it's not like lost in all the other stuff. So the weekend homework, right now we're working on the first page of those wireframes, the one that we've been working on the whole time with the feature image and the thumbnails. And the weekend homework is going to be another page. I'm hoping that we can get to coding this page by tomorrow so that we can have it started, and your job will be to finish it. And so that's my hope. And you will be using there. I put the link for the material that I posted with the wireframes, all those like pictures of the wireframes. And I specifically told you like which one to use to do that.
Kaitlyn,
Yes.
it's okay if that gets edited, since you are putting a due date on that one. It would be assignment number 16 in the series.
For
module 3.
Are we doing, okay, yeah, so, but I have.
Like, let's see, so there was number 15.
There's 16, 17, that's 18 then.
Okay, well, the other ones weren't required, so I didn't know if you wanted it to be 18. But what we've been doing is for anything that we're requiring with a due date, we're putting the word assignment in front of it just so that it's clear to the students.
I see, okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Yep, I can do that. I think I forgot the labeling part, but I did the actual assignment, like, Right, yeah. You checked it as assignment. So Yeah.
just as a visual cue, in anything that we're putting a due date on, we just want to put the word assignment in front of it. So that way there's no question that that's something that they need to turn in, or at least look at and acknowledge that they've looked at it.
Yep, hold on one second, I'm just making a note.
Okay, no problem.
Anybody have any questions on either of those assignments?
Just to be clarify, the Bootstrap homework number 1. No, what am I looking at there?
I'm gonna do this right now, actually.
Okay.
So this one, Corey, that you handed in with the Free Code Camp.
Okay, I did that one already. Okay.
Yep, that's number 16. Okay. And then, sorry for the weird noise. Assignment number 17. This is the fun one. You can just like do kind of be creative.
Yay, fun.
Yeah. I don't like too many restrictions. You guys can be creative. It's fine. The whole point is to just practice. So, and then the weekend homework should be, I know I put weekend first because I thought we were trying to make that prominent, but it should still show up, I think.
Yep, if you want to put the word assignment in all caps, that's fine. Just to keep it, consistent with the fact that you wanted them to zoom in on that.
This one's the most important.
Yeah, put that in all caps. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just drag and drop those in the right order so that you can move on to the next thing.
Okay. All right. We're all set. We're good.
All right.
You can move them around. All right. Cool beans. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
All right. So we left off. Actually, before I do this.
I just saw the numbers change in real time. That's really is cool beans. I was going, where? Oh, cool.
Cool beans. Why is that a saying? I don't know. My dad says that.
Yeah, I don't know where that originated. And I don't remember where I first heard it, but it wasn't that long ago, really. And it's like cool beans. Okay.
Well, my dad.
I'll go with it. Cold beans are good, actually. Cold bacon.
Yeah.
That's another story. We'll talk.
Okay, so the first thing I want to show you, if you have VS Code open, first thing I want to show you, if you go to this like these squares, these are your extensions.
Rubik's Cube.
Sorry?
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, the Rubik's Cube icon. Except somebody's cheating. They pulled the piece off. And now where is it? Here it is. So go to your extensions. In this search, you can search for material, icon, theme. Now I'll copy and paste this into the chat. If I can find my chat.
I don't have a menu that's attached with my VS Code like you do. You've got, it's like a purple bar that shows your choices. Is that a setting I need to turn on, or can I just use the one that's at the top of the screen?
A purple bar.
Yeah, you've got in your, well, whatever color that is.
Oh, the blue one at the bottom?
Whatever color it is, there's a menu. You've got an Apple code. Oh, that's on your computer. That's not in your VS Code.
Oh, down here?
No, up top.
Oh, up top. This is,
Yeah.
this is the
Okay.
VS Code menu. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't have that on mine.
Are you in full screen mode with this green thing?
Nope.
I don't know.
So
After we activate material icon theme, is there anything else that we have to do in settings? Or we're good to go?
It shouldn't make you restart it to activate it. It makes you restart VS Code if you disable it. But enable it. So after you install it, if you click, you might have to click like enable somewhere here. I can try it.
No, it said activate in the, it'll say activate in the bottom right. And then once you click activate, it says material icon theme is active.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And then if you go to your files, you should see these images next to your files in like the folders. If it is activated. You got it?
No.
No.
Oh, well, I got to the.
I like mine the way they are.
That's okay. You don't have to.
I
I
know
know
files and folders. I don't get confused.
I know some people wanted to see the pictures and
Yeah,
made it
thank you.
visually easier. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, Corey. What?
So we got material icon theme, right? And then what was the selection after that?
You need to install it.
I'll just hit the top one. Okay.
What if it's if it comes up and it's like
Material icon theme. Got it. Install.
install, and then
Okay.
you'll have to activate it. Alina said. I
Activate
haven't
it.
done this in like 2 years, so.
It should pop up on the bottom right to say activate after you click install.
Pop-up box.
It just popped up. Good. Okay.
Cool. So then if you go back to your file icon on the left, Corey, where you have like your editors, you can see the icons
Okay.
for the files. If you don't want to do this, you can totally disable it. But I was just throwing it out there. A couple of people had asked about it.
Oh, good. Yeah, thank you. Now, how do I get back to my VS Code after?
You mean the folders? You click on the little Explorer icon with the 2 file image.
Okay, that one. Okay, open folder.
And then if you have like, do you have like the blue folders? Do you have like the little 5 icon with the HTML file?
I'm not good at navigating this Mac yet. Oh my God. Okay.
So
Okay, keep on going. I'll try to get back to the VS.
yeah,
Code.
it's okay. It's not crucial by any means. It's just a visual thing. It does not going to mess anything up if it doesn't work or if you don't see it. Yay, Susan. Susan was so excited about this. Okay, cool. All right, so somebody tell me where we left off yesterday with our code.
So far we created the nav bar, and then we created the button on the right side. So if you make the screen smaller, your button should pop up with like a drop down of the, what do we call them, links in the middle.
Yep.
That we centered. We centered them.
Awesome. Yep. So we centered the links. We added the links. We made a button. The button works with this script tag down here that is Bootstrap's JavaScript bundle. And that makes the button pop open and close if you click it. And that's how far we got. So I hope everybody has all this code so far. And we are going to continue, if I can get this out of the way, with the next part. So after our header, let me pull up the.
Can you zoom in just a bit?
Yep, when I get where I'm going, sorry.
No problem.
I'm gonna pull up the wireframe really quick for you guys. And this one. All right. So in our wireframe, I'm not doing this like search right here, so don't worry about the search. Our navigation is here instead for this, so that's okay. So what do we have next? We have this whole top row down.
Next, we want to add basically the body.
Yeah,
like our content.
The main content section. So we're gonna do main tag. Oops, oh my God. We're gonna put a main tag in our code. And inside that main tag, we had something that was in our wireframe to give us a hint. And let me zoom in again, sorry. Oh, this doesn't zoom. That's sad. I have to do this way instead, I guess. There we go.
Oh, I see it. Content container?
Yeah, we need a container. So I'm gonna do a div. I'm gonna do, actually, I won't do the shortcut because I know you guys don't have the shortcuts. And I'm gonna make it a container. And does anybody remember what you put after a container? Well, it's showing you. You put something after the container in Bootstrap so that it spans the whole width of the page. And so you're gonna put container fluid. And that just means this container is going to contract and expand with the viewport, depending on the device, and it's going to be the same width of the viewport, no matter what you're looking at it on. That container is fluid, it just moves with the device size. And that's a responsive piece, a responsive class. Do you need me to zoom in?
I had to wait for a minute. Did you zoom in?
I did. Do you need me to
Oh,
zoom
you did. Good. Okay.
Yep. Perfect. All right, so was it Ariel who's having trouble seeing? Ariel, can you see? Okay.
She can.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. What else? So inside that, I actually decided to use some accessible tags. Why is this being silly? So we have we have one big area here, but we can split this up. Does anybody have an idea of how we can split up this main content area? We have our feature image, kind of columns. We could create 2 columns. We actually will create 2 columns, but I'm going to use a specific tag instead of like a column. So we have one is going to have this feature image and thumbnails, and the other one is going to have all these pieces right here. So what I decided to use is a section. Okay, we have 2 sections. And to get them to be columns, we're going to give this a class of column dash large, and I'm going to give it 4. So I'm going to go to Bootstrap and show you guys why I did that. So the large is so that there's 2 columns when you're on a large screen. So this is in 2 columns. If you remember the wireframes, there's a mobile one, and on the mobile one, it's just one big column. So we don't want multiple columns on our mobile view. We just want the one. So that's why I put the large. And in Bootstrap, so this call -4 is like this. It's 2 columns, and they're each have a width of 4. So if you had a third one, it would be 12 total. Remember that 12 column grid that we talked about? Each of these columns is 4 sections wide. Does that make sense? I don't want to say the word column too many times, but it's technically like 4 of those little columns wide. Okay, so that's what those numbers mean. And
Grids might be easier.
Yeah, like 4 grid, I guess I could say like vertical sections or something like that instead of like a vertical bar. I don't know. But you get what I mean. So it's vertical 4 grid. Of those. Yeah, vertical grid. That works.
Like it looks like on the wireframe that it's half. So why wouldn't it be 6 and 6?
So I made it 4, Susan. That's a good question. I did 4 because visually I wanted extra space and I didn't want to have to add a bunch of margin over here. So I did add some margin, but if I change this to 6, I'm actually going to change it in my classroom code base code because this is up right now. So if I make this 6.
Can you switch it back to your VS Code when you have the chance?
Yep. So I just made them 6. I don't know if this is going to work correctly. See how that looks really squished?
Yes.
I don't like that. So I decided not to go with 6. It was purely like visual.
Well, when you have it as 4, let me ask you this: is the headphones the first 4 and the wireless headphones words the last, and there's a 4 in the middle? Is that how the computer is reading it, or no? Do you know what I'm saying? Like the 3 sections? Or no?
Yeah. It is, but I also have some flex properties applied that fill in some of that space.
Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out the best way to answer that. Here you go, Lena. So that's why I picked the 4 instead of the 6, but that's a really valid question. And like you would think if it was half the page, you'd want 6, and you totally could do 6 and then add a bunch of margin and space it the way you want. I just didn't feel like doing that.
So it just gave you more breathing room, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought it looked more visually appealing.
That's interesting. Okay, so you don't have to stick. That's good to know.
It's kind of like at a point, so the grid is really important. And it's like very helpful, but at a point you can totally break away from like what you would think would be like normal or like standard and make it fit how you want, as long as it visually is the same and does, you know, the same thing as like the mock-up that you're given or the wireframe that you're given or the one that you're using, then that's really all that's going to matter is the functionality and that it matches the way that it looks.
Okay.
And so like I don't get mock-ups that say use 6 columns. They do tell me like we want it to be like 50% of the width or 100% or whatever. They'll say things like that, but generally they don't go by the columns when I get work requests and things like that. So there's that. So I have this section, and I'm going to create the other section as well, even though I don't have anything in it. And I'm going to do the same exact thing.
Just put in a resource for anyone who needs additional help with using grid. It's at the 626 timestamp. So.
Dana, do you mind? I'm using 2 computers. Can you put anything you put in the chat also in Slack for us?
Yes, I will. And I've also been adding items to your resource list for the module.
Great. Thank you very much.
One quick question about note-taking, Dana. I see the transcript and it is flowing, the closed captions. And so if I see a button here that says save transcript, do I have to hit that at the end of the lecture? Or if I wanted to go back and like read the transcript and pick up on the goodies, how would I do that?
You can save at any point during Kaitlyn's lecture.
Okay.
But what will happen is if you save now, you will only have the transcript up till now.
This point.
If you save at the end, you're going to have everything towards the end. So you can decide if you want to save multiple or just one large file at the end.
Got it. Okay. But it's inaccessible after once you upload it, the transcript, right?
No, it's still accessible to me. If you want it, you just have to request it. If for some reason you miss your chance to save during Kaitlyn's lecture or anyone's lecture.
Okay, I'll email.
Who's had this enabled. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. In this first section, what do we have?
Images?
We have a bunch of images. Yeah. So I'm just going to put the big image here first. So I'm going to use an image tag. I'm going to give that a class. And I'm just like we have container fluid, we have an image fluid. And the reason I'm going to use that is because the container that this is in, I want the image to take up as much space as it can because it's that feature image. I want this to take up all that space. And there's also,
I'm sorry, can you make it a little bigger?
yes,
I've got my Visual Basic, yeah, whatever, Studio Code and the other on top of each other, and it's just a little small, if you don't mind.
I'm gonna close that. How's that?
Yeah, I gotta figure out how to use my Toshiba monitor, and I was reading up on it today, but I think I need a special cable, so I'm dealing with what I'm dealing. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And then there's also an image class in Bootstrap called Rounded, and it's gonna make the corner of my image rounded, the corners. And I'll show you that in a second. Now, I'm also going to give this image a source. I'm going to tell it what I want. And see how I type source and it immediately asks me what I want to use from my project? If this images folder pops up and I hit enter, it'll bring up a list of images. Now, I only have one image in my images folder, so I can just hit enter on that as well. And that's my source. I don't need a web page. I don't need a URL. I just need this image that I have in my project.
Can you do that again, Kaitlyn?
Sure. Oops, I almost deleted everything. That's okay. So I type source equals, and I put my quotations, and this little menu popped up. Now, if the menu doesn't pop up, you have to know where your image is going to come from. Then we know that we have an images folder with an image inside of it. So when you're inside your own project and you have those files in the project, you don't need to go to an outside source for that image. You can just type, you can tell your code, like, this is the location of the image. I'm going to tell you exactly where to go. And you can type images, which is the name of the folder that the image is in, / which means you're going into the folder, and then the name of the image, which is headphones.jpg.
Are we gonna resize our image next?
Kind of.
I was just wondering because on yours, I don't know, like I feel like yours was like they sized it to the screen, but then when I went to go click it in my code and like test it after I saved it, my image was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Do you put a closing tag on that or not yet?
Not yet. We're gonna do one more thing. We're gonna do something that's really important. Actually, we're gonna give it an alt tag. And that alt tag should just have a description of the image. So I'm just gonna give it an alt text of black headphones. And then I'm gonna do my closing tag. Now, the image tag, you guys, is a self-closing tag, so you don't need to do your regular closing caret and then another like image tag like that. You can close it on its own, just like that, with a / and a closing caret. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna go to my code. I'm gonna go to the right one. I'm gonna refresh. And you should have something that looks like that. Alina, is your image still really big?
My image is
Yeah.
broken.
Do you have the image in your images folder?
Yes. I think so. Let me double check.
Mine's not like huge, but it's not as small as yours.
Are you on your big monitor by any chance?
No, I'm on
It's right there.
the regular one.
Okay.
Rascal is right there. You don't want to play nice, do you?
Yeah, my image is broken also, and I know the image is in there. I saved everything.
I'm looking right at it.
That's weird.
Weirdness abounds. So let's see here. Why wouldn't that work?
I'm trying to think. Does anybody want to share what they're looking at? Maybe.
I'll show you mine.
It's hard to troubleshoot if I can't see. Sure.
Okay, not a lot to it. All right. Sorry, I gotta get the menu that has screen share. I can't find it. Zoom. There it is. Many windows, too little time. All right.
Okay, so that looks pretty
I've
good.
got to inspect and all that nonsense going on too. Yeah, I don't have a hamburger when I make it smaller either.
You do. It's just dark because I think your classes are not.
Yeah, I kind of pasted in the code after looking through it and understanding some of what I couldn't keep up with during class yesterday. So it's got to be right because it's basically what you did, but I may have done something else. I'll have to figure it out. But yeah, there's the broken image.
But the image is showing up here.
Oh, the image is not broken. This, something else is broken.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
never
you
mind.
must have something else hanging out in your code there.
Who knows, some gremlin or something.
Are
All
you?
right. Yep.
Huh. Okay.
What?
You have a lot of extra stuff already. So I'm just wondering.
I have extra stuff.
Yeah, we don't have this on our page yet. The title, the amount, any of that.
Yeah, remember we kind of changed the title yesterday and stuff? The amount, that was in your code.
Yeah, so that's in the finished code, but we didn't code that part together yet.
No, but, we weren't supposed to grab the finished code.
Well, you could, but we're coding it together right now. So that's
Right, and I'm
probably why
learning.
it's giving you trouble, as you have like double things going on.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm learning either way, but we'll figure this out. All
Yeah,
right.
that's
Thank
okay.
you. Now I'm gonna stop sharing.
Latonia, did you wanted to share your screen really quick? Oh, Alina, so yours works now? Okay, cool. Yeah, you probably were missing that tag and then it was like blown up because it wasn't following the column grid. That's probably what happened. Okay. So, for images. Oh, your images folder, Latonia, is on the same level as the base day 1 folder. It's not inside your day 1-2 folder. So if you drag that into, yep, there. So that was actually really helpful, I think. So make sure that all the files you're working with are in the project folder that you're working in. If they're outside that folder, that's not going to work. So if you refresh, that should work for you now, Latonia. You're welcome. Okay. Let's keep going. All right. Where am I? Okay, cool. So I'm going to go back to Bootstrap. I'm going to show you where I got those things from. So in content on Bootstrap, there's an images area, and this is how you can have responsive images. We wanted our image to be image fluid. So it scales just like that container that it's in with the device. It's going to take up the whole container that it's in. So that section tag, this is taking up that whole width of that section tag. And it's also making sure, see how it has this max width 100%, and then it has height auto. This is making sure that, yes, the max width is 100%, but now my image is not like stretched out. The height is adjusting with the width, so it still looks the same. So it's not like making the image look funny. So that's how this is working. This class image fluid is doing both of these things for you.
Ariel has a question in the chat. She wants to know if that was in references to. Was that question for me or for Kate?
Yeah, no, that was for the semantic tags. I knew I saw it somewhere. I just wanted to verify because I go through references before I go through Slack. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
That. Okay.
Yeah, the section tag was a semantic tag. Yay, I did it. I didn't use a div. Okay, so the next thing we have is a bunch of thumbnails. And so those thumbnails are not what I want. There we go. Those thumbnails are in a row together. So I'm going to use a class called row. So after this big feature image, I'm going to use a div again.
We're still in the same section. We're not doing a new section.
We're in the same section. Yes. I'll put some spaces in here so you guys can see. It'll save on me, unfortunately, but for now, does that help visually?
Yeah, I just was asking, like, mentally, I was thinking, I wonder if you do a new section, but it's all within the same section so far.
Yes, so remember, these sections are our four column grid sections. And so all of that stuff in that wireframe on that left-hand side were in the same section. And so that's how I'm breaking this apart visually. So I want this feature image and the thumbnails to be in one nice little cozy container together.
Okay.
So I'm going to use a div, and I'm going to give the div a class. And the class is going to be row. And then we're going to come back to this div eventually, because you're going to notice that it's not doing exactly what we want it to do, but we will get there. So for now, this is going to have one class, but we will add more.
So you said in this section, it was going to be the feature image and what?
And the thumbnail images.
And the thumbnail. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
And Mel, that should answer your question. That's how she's using, that's how she decided to do that section.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. I can't I need 8 monitors.
No, I was trying to answer his question without bothering you, but then I forgot the last thing that you said. So
it's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you. So then we have this row, and then inside the row we have a bunch of thumbnails. And so what I'm going to do is create a div for each of those thumbnails with an image inside of it, because I want every one of those thumbnails to have their own little column as well. Does that make sense? So I'm going to make a div with a class of col-2, because I want this column to be pretty small. I don't want it to be taking up too much space, because I have 6 of these, 5 or 6. I have a few of these images, these thumbnails. Yes, Ariel, you have a question.
So you're not doing, kind of bouncing off of Mel's here, when you're doing a section, obviously that's for whatever's in that block. But when you're doing a section, you don't need to do div for the first one. Is it every consecutive one after? So say you're putting 4 things in that section. The first one, it just goes under section, and then the next 3 all have div classes.
Yep. I'm using section for that area, basically for that section of the page. But with Bootstrap, it's you're going to end up using a lot of divs, unfortunately. But they do have so much accessibility built in that it kind of counteracts the no of the div. And it's kind of hard to avoid using divs, honestly, in development. So you just do the best that you can to make your page accessible in other ways, sometimes depending on what you're using. But with Bootstrap, there's a lot of divs going on.
But if it's just the first, you know how when you start counting, it's 0, 1, 2. Is it the same thing with this? So you have your main image, your fluid rounded.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be a div, that can stay under section, but everything you add onto it for that section is going to be a div.
Yep. And I could wrap this image tag in a div as well. I just chose not to.
Is it just more work at that point? You don't need it?
Yeah, you don't need it for this, because I want this image to take up that full width of that section that it's in. I don't really care if it's wrapped in anything. If I wanted to really tweak the amount of space that was taking up, then I'd probably wrap it in a div and style the div with some padding or margin or whatever. But I don't need that for this one, so that's why I didn't use it. But that's a very good question. It's not wrong to use a div here. I just chose not to. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. If you guys, if I'm not explaining enough as I go, please let me know and ask questions. It's really, I'm really happy to answer anything. So I'm going to close this div tag before I keep typing, just so I know that it's closed. And then inside the div tag, I'm going to put an image again. And I'm going to use almost the same thing as before, except I'm going to do something else a little bit different. So instead of image fluid, I'm going to give it a class of image thumbnail, which is a Bootstrap class specifically for thumbnail images. And I'm also going to give that a rounded class as well.
Hey, Kaitlyn, I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was you, but someone mentioned that to help them get a visual of what the different divs or sections look like, what they do as they're coding is they put borders around those areas. And that actually helped students to visualize. Is that something that we might be able to do here?
I could do it here, but I don't have like a bunch of classes already given to all these divs. I could do it for like the sections probably, if that helps. So if I had I'm gonna do it inline probably, honestly. I'm just gonna do style equals border. Hold on. Forget what comes first. Let me just do. We're gonna use the same image for the thumbnails as well. So just for the sake of simplicity, and I'm gonna give it the same alt tag as before. And you could give it like thumbnail as well if you want, just to differentiate between the two. So if I save this with the border, there's the black border that encompasses that large feature image. And the thumbnail, one of the thumbnails is here right now.
Can we see a border at main?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make it a different color because it's kind of hard to see black. So I'll do red.
Danger.
Color.
There you go. So this is a great way of showing how main is actually holding section inside of it.
Did you want us to do that stuff, or is that optional?
No, it's just visual for if somebody wanted to see it. You don't have to add this in. If it helps you, feel free, but you can add this class with any color if you don't want to use black. Karen Thorne said she does that.
Yes, okay. Yeah, that was a great strategy. I thought I was the only one who did that. Like, man, I gotta see like what's holding what, because it also helps me with my opening and closing tags for the different sections.
So if you want to add the borders visually, you can do it inline, which means you're adding the style attribute to the elements directly in your HTML file. I'm typing this out too. That's why I'm talking like that. I'm sorry. And I sound like a robot. And you can add it to any of these tags if you want to see the border around them. And it will visually just give you that so you can see.
And if you're someone who has difficulty seeing things on the screen, just increase the size of the border from 1 pixel to a larger number.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Dana. So yeah, you can change the color and you can change the pixel size if you need to. Just know the border will take up space if you make it too many pixels. So it might throw off how wide things are looking on your screen. So if you have too many borders going on and say they're all like 10 pixels and you have 3 borders, that's taking up 30 pixels of space. It's going to push things around on the page. So just keep that in mind. 10 pixels is a huge border, so I don't think that you need that, but just in case. Okay, so I can leave that for now. It's fine. So because this is my thumbnail image, I want to keep track of things are, and I hate not being able to see what's what. And the Bootstrap classes are kind of like, it's a lot to look at. So I like to use my own classes. So on this main feature image, I'm just going to give it a class of feature at the beginning. So I can remember that this is the feature image. Actually, sorry, I don't want to do it. Yeah, I do want to do that. Sorry. I'm going to do feature image though, not feature. And I'm going to give my section a class of just feature. So I know that that's the feature section of my page. I might not use those for styling, but I want them there so I can follow my own code better.
Kaitlyn, I have a question. So in VS Code, when I was coding, my code started turning white. And when I went to go command save and then try it on the file, it basically just popped up the code. Is there a way to change it from typing white to like regular coding again?
The white might be because you're missing something, missing a closing tag or a quotation mark or something.
I don't see anything that I'm missing. I don't know what happened. It just started.
So like, see how I got rid of this closing tag and that div turned white underneath of it?
Yeah.
So that's.
See, but it's not like that. Like it's like white. Like it's like I'm typing, everything's white. It's okay. I'll figure it out.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Can you go definitely back down to your code so I can copy it though?
Yep. I'm gonna, while we're doing this on the row, I'm gonna say this is the thumbnail row as well. And then on this thumbnail column, I'm gonna give it a class of thumbnail image. And this is to help you follow your own code and know what things are, but also for other people who might look at your code when you're working on a project with other people. Naming is like, I would say, probably like top three, one of the top three most important things you will learn about code is naming your like classes and variables correctly is like 95% of the work sometimes. If your things are not named well, it's really, really hard to follow code when it's gigantic.
So you only have 2 thumbnails in your code right now, but did we want 6 like at the end?
Yeah, so I only have 1 thumbnail in my code.
Okay.
And this is the row of the thumbnails. And the reason I put this is I'm actually going to style the row in a few minutes. But yeah, you're gonna need to, for this thumbnail image div that says call to, you can copy everything to the closing div for that. And you can paste it to like 5 more
including
times.
the first one that said row or no?
No, you don't need another row. You just want the image ones. There were 6, right? Yeah, so there are 6 thumbnails. I lost track. This is another helpful thing, except my code's not formatted correctly. But you can close div tags like this. I need to save this. There we go. You can collapse them if your code's getting too long, so you can kind of see where the closing tag is and what's inside of it.
Not sure what I did. My thumbnails aren't popping up.
Do you have the is the like the images aren't there? You mean? Like nothing's there?
It just has the one big image of the headphones, and then it doesn't have like the little squares on the bottom or anything.
Let's see. I have too many. Sorry, that was really fast. Hold on. Do you have so you have call to, you have an image tag that has a class with image dash thumbnail and rounded. And then you have the source with the same source as the feature image.
Sorry, I was on mute when I was talking. I think I figured out my issue. I just don't know how to fix it. So like with so I did link the images like we did with the rounded one. I mean, with the first, like the big image. And I noticed that code, the image / headphones JP, like the name of it is, for my code, it's orange. But then when I do the thumbnails and I have like the same SRC equals images / headphones, that's all blue. So I'm thinking that the code is broken there and it's not actually linked.
Possibly. Do you have the same colors as mine by any chance? Like
no, mine are blue and orange.
Oh, yeah, because I have a theme.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking, that it's not linked because so like I clearly see that the top image, the big image, it has like a line under it and it's linked and everything. But then all the ones that I like copied and pasted, the SRC image thumbnails, they're not linked from what I'm seeing. Like they're just blue straight across instead of orange with a line under them.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm gonna go back and figure out how
Make
to
sure you
relink
have
them.
like all your quotation marks and that it says the same like images / blah blah blah.
Yeah, was I supposed to have a closing tag at the end of the, no, okay, so not at the end of the SRC or the alt. Okay, so the only one that has a closing tag is the one that ends in rounded.
Wait.
I just think that it's just not linked correctly.
So you should have a closing quotation after all of these.
Yeah, no. I know what you meant. I meant like this one.
Oh, yeah. This one, yeah, you need to have the / with the closing tag. Like this is a self-closing tag.
Yeah.
So you can just do / and a close, and you don't need to type the extra like image tag at the end.
Okay. It's not linked. I'll just.
Let's stay here for a second.
Okay, so I guess I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'm thinking that's what the issue is, that it's not linked. So when I highlight the SRC images for the thumbnail one, it highlights the one for the big image too. Is there a way to just like simply link them together?
So does your big image not have a closing tag?
No, my big image does.
Oh, you mean like if you do this?
Yeah.
It's just because
But mine aren't on the, like my thumbnail ones aren't underlined, so that means that they're not linked, right?
Yeah. So when it highlights like that, it just means that it's repeated code. So like if I was looking for a specific class, like thumbnail image, it's going to highlight everything that has that for me. So that's all that means. Yeah, Ariel, if it's cascading funny, you might be missing a closing tag, like Dana said. How's everybody doing by a show of thumbs or open mouth? Thumbs up being good, open mouth being you need help or time.
It's
Okay.
just, it's hard. I'm not complaining. I've got to figure this out, but doing this all on my MacBook Pro monitor, that's all.
Yeah, that's tough.
But it's okay because I can go back and watch the class video and fill in the blanks, and I'm understanding why things are happening. And so I'm kind of in between the two icons, emoticons.
Can I share my screen if nobody else is?
Yeah, you can. Does anybody need to see my code at the moment or, okay.
All right, I'm gonna share.
And while Alina's preparing to share, I just want to let you know that one of the ways that VS Code will let you know if something is wrong with your code, if you look along the left side of your VS Code window next to the numbers, in addition to having those little arrows where you can expand and collapse, there will be a red dot. So a lot of times VS Code will do a really good job of giving you a red dot next to the line number to let you know that something is wrong on that line.
Can you zoom in a little bit, Lena? Now I'm in your guys.
How do I zoom in?
Command plus.
Command plus. Okay. So this is what I was talking about, how the, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So this is what I was talking about, how the code is like white.
Yeah, you're missing something. So oh. Yeah, so okay. So you have image class equals, and you have quotes, image dash thumbnail rounded, and then you have a quote. But you have a closing bracket there. You don't want a closing bracket.
I don't need this here.
No, you just want quotes, because what we're doing is we're giving this image element a bunch of attributes. So class, source, and alt are all attributes of the image tag. They're like
Got it. So I
properties.
don't need this closing tag either then. Okay, so that makes sense. They're all popping up. So just erase all of these.
You just have too many closing tags. You have an opening tag before source as well.
Yep. Okay. That is all. Thank you. Sorry for taking up time for that.
No, don't be sorry.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing and then I'll just fix all that.
And you have 2 alt tags there too in the first one. You have like
I know because I copied and pasted it and
okay. That's okay. So yeah, that's your problem. You were just had too many things going on there. Okay. How are you guys feeling? Do you need a break now? Do you want to wait and take a break? Do you not care? Indifferent? Okay.
I'm good if we want to continue.
Wait,
I don't know.
Ariel, did you say break or no break? I'm like trying to read your lips. I can't.
I was kind of muttering to myself, my kids are animals today. If we could just take, please, they want a snack really bad.
Gotta feed the zoo animals, right?
For the kids, we'll do it for the kids.
Like,
I was trying so hard. I was trying so hard to keep it to myself as I'm staring at my code, and one of them's behind me going, psst, psst. I'm like, stop.
I have sent my daughter to my parents' house every day this week because I can't. And there's just one of her, so it's okay. Yeah, okay, so we will take a 15-minute break. Actually, we'll just come back at 7:20 since it's almost 7:05. We'll just round up. So 7:20, we'll see you back and we'll have a solid hour and hopefully we can get this page done.
Kaitlyn, I'm gonna stay on while we're on break because I refreshed my file. Try to see if it's working. It's not working. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Maybe you see something that I don't.
You guys are doing great, by the way. Nice job. All right, if you want to share your screen again, you can.
Okay. So this is my screen. I will zoom in so we can see. Well, that's too big. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you see anything that I am missing.
Let's see.
Sorry.
Oh, you don't have closing div tags for after the image tags. So you have the div class call to
right here.
And then click on the div, the word div, and you have no tag that's lining up with that to close it. So see where you're gonna have a closing tag for each of those divs. So see where let me get my tool. Hold on. I gotta find, here we go. All right. See this right here? You need to put a closing div tag. Press enter. And there you go. So after every one of these.
So, oh, okay.
For the images,
Got
you
it.
need a closing div tag.
Okay, I'll do that on my own without.
Oop, too many.
Yeah, I don't know what I can't type.
It's
clearly.
okay.
I feel like when I try to like press enter or tab to do it like the efficient way, it doesn't work. I might as well just type it out by myself.
It's trying to autofill for you, but you already did it. It's not that smart, I guess.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Oops.
And then there's another one. Yep. I think there's one there. One more after that up there.
And then... Wow, all these syntax errors. I'm terrible.
Oh, it did it. Autocomplete some random thing for you. No wonder you're having trouble.
What did I do? Was there supposed to be a section here? There's
no.
No, okay.
I don't know why it did that.
That's it likes to type for
all
me.
right, now save it.
Let's see if Command S. Sorry guys, I'm having technical difficulties. I think I had too much caffeine today. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing one. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'll stop sharing and then I'll just copy and paste it one more time.
Okay. Are you sure? You don't have to do all that.
I think wait, yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It is fine. Copy. Losing it. Paste. Command S.
All right. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. I have one more question before you be right back.
Okay.
I don't know. So like the first 5 that I had, they were kind of like aligned to the right. Like there wasn't. What is this? I don't even know what it is. I see it on my screen. It's like a fake button. I'm gonna screen share one more time if you don't mind. I'm sorry.
I mind a lot. How dare you?
I know I'm taking up your time.
Ahead,
But at least your kid's not home. You don't have to throw Cheerios on the floor to her.
That's true. She sneaks candy when I'm doing this. That's why I sent her to my parents' house.
Okay, but do you see this like little?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's some other image tag there that doesn't need to be there. That's empty. It looks like. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Oh, the headphones here. Hold on.
Like get your tool because I'm blind.
Here. You're missing. Oh, you scrolled.
Sorry.
I'll undo it.
Probably need to make that a little bit bigger.
Bigger. Can you see it, Kaitlyn?
It's small, but I can see it. Go up.
I'm sorry. Here, let me just make this bigger. My whole screen.
There you go. That's better.
Beautiful.
Right. Just go up. Okay, stop. Here, you're missing the
Did you underline something?
Image. Oh. You have headphones, but headphones.
Okay, so .jpg.
Yep. There you go. That's why that little menu is helpful because it fills that in for you. All right, now.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like my menu doesn't like fully.
Oh
work.
yeah.
Like sometimes I feel like I click on it and then come on, computer, stop acting stupid. Refresh. There. Now we have one, two. So now I have too many. Okay, erase one.
Hey, Alina, before you close this, can you right click to see if the shortcut format menu will come up? I know it didn't come up on someone's computer yesterday.
Format document.
Yeah, format document.
Bigger,
Default.
prettier.
Yes, prettier. Well, yep, click on that. I don't think it did anything.
So I've
Yeah,
been
I don't
having
think
this
it did
problem.
anything either.
I've been having this problem at work. So I want you to go to code at the code menu at the top, all
Right
the
here,
way up by the, yeah, go to preferences,
preferences.
go to settings, go to type the word format.
Format.
Go see how it says default formatter.
Yeah, no.
It says null. It doesn't know what to use. So you're gonna click the one that says it starts with ESBENP. It's like third from the bottom. Prettier. Oop, oop.
Oh,
Much.
hold on. I just found it. This one.
Yep. And then go down two settings and it says format on save. Check that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So then everything.
Now you should save it, and it should.
Plan
You
it
might
out.
have to click the. Prettier might be confused now. Oh, you're missing a closing section tag down there, so it's probably
Another one.
Well, see this right here? You made the second section, but you didn't close it yet. So Prettier's mad at you for that.
You got it. Okay.
All right. So
See, so this is what always happens to me. So whenever I go to create a tag, it pops up like the second one closes with it, and then I just yeah, that's what happens to me.
Try to save it now. Nope.
Did I not save it? I did save it, right?
No, you saved it. It didn't format. I'm gonna have to mess with it. So you're good. So that's how it looks for now. We're gonna change that, but
okay, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome. I'm gonna have everybody install that either tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, because I really want to code tonight. But we'll get you guys all set up with the formatting because it's a pain in the butt when it doesn't format.
Yeah, I actually downloaded Prettier extension on my own off of some like random YouTube guy that I was listening to, but I thought that I activated it because I activated it the same way that we did the one that we just downloaded, but apparently I didn't.
So at work, mine was activated and then VS Code updated and it like erased that setting. So I had to go in and manually, that's how I knew exactly what to do because it took me forever to figure out what was wrong with it.
It's so rude when they take away things that you know
that are helpful
so often, and then it just like wipes everything clean, and it's like, why did you take that away? That was so unnecessary. Latonia wanted some assistance with her navigation. I don't know if Alina, if you're all set.
Yeah, no, I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay. She's in a breakout room with Karen actually.
Oh, so, she is. Okay.
Yeah, so I think she's all set with that.
Okay, great.
Thank you though. I'm like trying to keep up with people and I just like, I can't. So thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back for real now.
All right, I'll see if anyone else needs help.
Hey, when somebody comes back, and I can wait until after, because I'm on a MacBook and a PC, is it possible either after to get on Zoom on my other book and share my screen, or, can I get on 2 Zooms, or how do I do that?
The only way to get on 2 Zooms is if you have 2 email accounts.
Oh. No,
you can sign in from the other computer under the other email account and use the same link that we've been sending you in Gmail.
Okay.
Calendar.
So real quick, and this probably, you can't answer this. Do you see what I mean by cascading? Probably not.
Oh, everything's going down. Yeah.
Yes. And it did that with my capstone as well. And I can't find an end thing. I can't find anything for that. Do you know why it would do that?
Yes, but I would need to take a look at your code. It sounds like this is a common problem that I face a lot of times where I don't always put the closing tag in the correct place.
Okay.
Or something is missing.
Like the first one worked, and then I just copy and pasted that one repeatedly.
It sounds like in the copy and paste, though, something is missing.
Oh, it probably is. Okay, thank you. And again, I apologize. I didn't want to take a break because I was in this, but my kids have been going next to me, and I apologize because I'm also on video going the entire time. So they
yeah.
are wild today.
So I will tell you how I'm able to correct errors on my own. What I do is usually because the code shows up so small on the screen, I'll go back to where everything seemed to be working fine. And then I'll just zoom in on that line of code. So, and this will be a good exercise for you because the completed code is actually in the code base in GitHub. So if you kind of know where the error might be, which you know that it's somewhere in the code where the thumbnails are, you can actually just start comparing that to the correct code. And usually, well, I can say for me that usually doing that, I'm able to find what the problem is. If you would like to screen share, I can, if you would like to screen share, I can take a look at that. Compare it to the code that she has, you know, it's something that we can do together. If it's something that you want to try to attempt on your own, that's fine too. But I think that maybe somewhere in the copy and paste that something is missing.
Okay, I mean, I can take a look at it versus her finished one for now. I'm gonna have to, she said to screen share anyways after.
Okay.
Just because for me to switch Zoom onto the Mac, I honestly, yesterday I missed because I went to an eye exam. So I don't get glasses for a week and I can't see the screen for Zoom on the MacBook.
Yeah.
But I did get the blue filters on the glasses.
Oh, good.
I'm on top of it. I'm like, no more migraines. So I will take a look at that and see what I can kind of grab. Thank you. And then if I still have issues, I'll message you and see if you have time tonight, or if, you know, Kaitlyn has time, somebody does. Just because I did this with my capstone as well. I did cards in my Bootstrap and they all did that down the thing. It couldn't be a formatting or an indentation issue, right?
No, it's not an indentation issue. Indentation in Visual Studio Code will not affect how things render in the browser. Not at all.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll take a look at that.
Okay. No problem. All right. I'm going to enjoy my last few minutes of this break. See everyone in about 3 minutes.
I'm back.
My hamburger is navigating.
Yay. Nice job. It feels good, right? To find
It
the problem
does.
and fix it. I
So I'm
love
not screaming and cursing at the computer.
it. Yeah, that's amazing. Great job.
Excuse me. I really need to turn off, I need to turn off sound if I'm gonna yawn and make a noise, because I know that in the video that's gonna show live, I think that it defaults to whoever's talking. I'm gonna have to go in and cut that out of the video. I can't hear you, Carolyn, but I saw your mouth move.
What do you think, Kaitlyn?
Oh yeah, Kaitlyn, you're on mute.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
Wow.
I don't know where the heck that extra. I feel like I'm looking at Darth Vader or something.
You
Is that
definitely
the-
have double things laying around in there.
Yeah, and the C2 and icon finally appeared, and they weren't appearing, so that's a start.
What? Yeah.
This is red. I didn't catch, there was something black, something else black you put in the code after the red thing, but I can always review the video to get that. But I'm trying to really understand what you're doing, why you're doing it. And it's a lot easier to take something that exists or that someone is putting
And
in front
modify
of
it.
you and go, oh, that's
Yeah.
why that does that. Then when they say,
Yeah.
I need you to make me a blah, 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 and you're like, I don't know how to do that.
So when I was first starting my full-time job, even when I was first starting working, that happened to me a lot. And I hated that feeling, like, how come I couldn't think of that? How come I didn't know? But it just comes with time and practice is all I can say. It's just practice, because now I'm much more proficient than I was when I started. And it's just because I get that full-time practice every day. And it's really just, and also, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of self-doubt. And you have to kind of like mentally get yourself over doubting yourself and second guessing yourself. I was so afraid to teach this. And then I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna screw everything up. And then I sent it to Max, and Max was like, this looks amazing. And it was just one of those things where like, we are our own worst critics. So give yourself a break.
Yeah.
Try your best.
Definitely.
And just keep practicing, and that's like the best thing you can do.
Yeah, it's just it is very, it's easier to learn going backwards sometimes.
Yeah. Yep. It is, especially in the beginning.
I'm really trying to, like, I know everyone's doing this, but I'm really trying to watch, you know, when you're putting stuff in there to say, okay, what will this do? What do I think this will do? Okay, hit refresh on my browser to see if it does what I thought it would do. So that's a start.
Yeah.
So
you're doing good.
All
You're
cool.
doing-
It's all good. It's too much fun, actually. I'm basically getting paid to do this because we're not paying tuition.
There you go.
And I'm getting my monthly SSDI. So I'm getting paid to do this. And it's so much fun.
I love it. It is a lot of fun.
It's the great. And then my husband, who's, you know, got a lot of experience in programming, but this is all stuff he hasn't done. In fact, he's taken his own little class in this now. But sometimes you may see him pop in and out of the Aurora Borealis behind me. But he's just really impressed, and he'll hear what's going on in class. And it's just, you guys are really learning a lot in a short time. And he sat in the hack thing yesterday off to the side because he didn't want me to invite him. And he's just loving what he's seeing and hearing, and the positive energy that I have right now.
That's awesome.
You know, which isn't always a given, right? I mean, depression is a tough thing. So, but yeah, so now I got to figure out where my extra headphones came from.
You'll figure it out. I have
Oh,
faith.
yeah, I love puzzles and, as a librarian, looking for information and I love that. So this is great, but I thought you'd get a chuckle out of they're multiplying in the GitHub. All right, enough said. I'm done being silly.
All right. We have everybody back with us now. Looks like it. Hopefully Mel and Shaw are back. Karen's with us and Shantina's with us. I know Alina had an issue with her kids. So.
Oh my God, I'm having issues with my kids and now I'm having like a cough attack myself.
All right, everybody's kids are fed and happy. Let's keep moving. Okay. Oh, it would help if I shared my screen, I bet. Okay. So we left off with all these thumbnail images. And if we refresh, that's what you should have. It's not lined up right. It's kind of ugly, but we have this. So before I style things, we're gonna work on the next section and then we'll do all the little like finishing styling touches. I personally like to code this way and get everything kind of like flushed out as best as I can, and then go back and adjust things if I have to, because I just think like it's easier to style everything when you have things on the page, and then you can move them around a lot easier and visualize. But that's just a personal preference. So okay, excuse me. So we have all of our thumbnails. I feel like this is really big and it's hard for me to follow the code like this, but and so we're done with this section, right? Like the one section that we just completed had that big feature image and the 6 thumbnails, and that's it. So we're gonna move to the right side of the page now, which has a title. Oh my God, what was that? A title, a price, and has this little quantity thing. The thing I'm using looks slightly different, but that's okay. And it has this button right here, this add to cart button. That's called a CTA, a call to action. And that's usually a pretty large button. And it's telling you to do something. What is happening? And then we have some product information, which is text. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in this section here. So I already closed my section tag. So I'm going to open it up and go inside that. And minimize you all so I can see better.
Kaitlyn, I have a pretty stupid question.
No question is stupid.
How do you close your line or tag or, oh, never mind. I see it. You got to click on the number first. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, you mean like this?
Yeah, to collapse it because it was getting too long for me to pay attention after we added all the thumbnails.
Yeah, it gets super distracting. I don't blame you. So as long as your thumbnails look good, you can do that for now, but you might have to open them back up when we style stuff. But for now, if it helps you declutter your page, you can collapse.
Sorry, are we in a new section? Oh, we're in the section that we did earlier down low, right? Okay.
Yeah, the new one that we already have it, but we didn't do anything.
The one on the right that we didn't do anything with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so the first thing I want to do is we have a product title on that section. That's like the top piece. And so I'm going to make that an H1 tags because that's like a pretty big heading, right? We want people to know what the product is. So I'm just going to say wireless headphones. And I'm going to give this H1 tag a class, and I'm going to call it product title. Now, this is not a Bootstrap class. This is my own class. And I did this for the same reason as before, where I give classes just for the sake of readability and being able to read through my code and find things easier. So the Bootstrap classes are not very specific sometimes. There's an image, there's a thumbnail, but you don't know which one it is. So I like to just like label things more. And if you use it, you use it. And if you don't, that's okay. But it's there. And then in the section here, I'm gonna also give this a class while we're here. And I'm gonna give it a class of product info. So if you remember the first section, we gave a class of feature. So I know when I'm looking at my code that if I collapse, I'm gonna go back down in a second. If I collapse this section here and this section here, I can see like which one I want to open depending on what I want to work on. So if I want to work on that feature section, I know that it's this one and I don't have to guess which section it is because I labeled it for myself. Otherwise, it's not labeled and it's super hard to figure out unless you're like reading through all these lines, and that's a pain.
How do they know to ignore it, like, or that doesn't mean anything?
It doesn't get ignored necessarily, but like what I would use this for is styling. And because in my style.css, I haven't done anything with it. It just doesn't do anything. It's purely a label for at this point.
Right.
And it doesn't hurt anything. It's there. It's easier to follow. And quite frankly, I'd rather have it there and then not have to use it than to not have it there and then be lost. So I just try to go through and do that as I go. So I'm going to open this back up again so you guys can see. And then underneath this H1.
Kaitlyn?
Yeah.
Kaitlyn, I'm sorry to
That's okay,
jump
don't
in.
be sorry.
We did the product info. Before that, you did the product. So I don't know if I missed something.
So our page had two big sections. One had all the images. I collapsed that. And then we closed that section with all the images, and we're on the right-hand side of the page now, and then in another section tag that I called product info. And it has this call large for class. And then inside that, I just have the product title right now. I was jumping around a little bit, so sorry. So the next thing inside this is a price, and also following some semantic guidelines. I'm going to use an H2 tag for this so that my headings go in order. And I'm going to give it a class of, it's another one of like my own classes, and I'm just going to say price. And then inside that, I'm going to make it however much dollars you want to make it. You can make it whatever you want. I just did 1, 2, 3 because I'm boring. And if I save that.
Wait,
so
work. Your price
I deleted actually.
H1 or H2?
No, it was H2. It like didn't type out the way I wanted it to. Hold on.
We are doing H2. Sorry, my AirPods fell out.
We are. My typing got messed up.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry. Price. And then H2. And then I should save that and it should work. There we go. I don't want that there. It's gonna keep doing that. I'm sorry. I like it on different lines, but my H1 tag is the wireless headphones and my H2 tag is the price.
Can you refresh and show your thing? Because mine came out underneath and I don't know what I did. I'm just curious. I thought
Ooh, it's probably gonna come out underneath the images, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have to do something to our container to make these go where they're supposed to go.
Why doesn't it automatically know that it's another column though?
So it does, but we didn't tell the columns to be side by side.
Oh.
So it's like, okay, you have this column and then you have another column. That's great. And they're just going to stack on top of each other. So we have to use a flex property.
Oh, like a justify or something?
Mm-hmm. So on your, right under your main tag, all the way up towards the top now, there's this div class container fluid. This is our main container. I'm going to give this a class of main content. And then after this container fluid class, I'm going to give it some flex properties. So let me go back to Bootstrap really quick. And if you remember, Bootstrap has flex classes that you can use instead of doing it in CSS. You can just apply classes. So you can do d-flex and it will flex for you. That's display flex. And there's all these other, so depending on the monitor size, you can do it differently if you want, and all that fun stuff. And then you can do like, do you want it in a row? Do you want it in a column? All these like flex properties that we learned about. Think about like Flexbox Froggy. So there's a justify content one. Okay, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna tell this container to display flex. I'm gonna hit my space bar and I'm gonna add another class. And the next class is gonna be justify content center.
Excuse me,
And
Kate.
then,
Wait,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Alina. You said that you hit your tab instead of space. Did I hear you right, or?
did I say that? I don't know if I said that.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. I'm like, so I hit
when
tab.
I was completing, oh, I hit the space
Oh,
bar.
okay.
I put a space between the classes. Maybe that's what I said.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, I'm just like sometimes in a thought process and I don't realize what I'm saying. So if it doesn't make sense, feel free. And then I'm also going to add a wrap property. I'm going to add flex wrap just in case the content is too large. It will wrap.
Wait, so are you doing this? It's in the main tag.
So the main tag is here, and that main container that we have, I gave it a couple extra classes now. I labeled this container fluid. This is all that was there. It was the container.
Got it. Okay, that's why I was like lost. I was like, wait, whoa.
Yep.
Got it.
And then I added a main content class of my own, again, for readability. So I know what container I'm looking at. If you have like a large project or a page with lots of containers, this container fluid, everything's container fluid. So that's going to get super confusing. So again, I just add my own class for so I can figure out which one this is a lot faster. I can still figure it out, but it takes up a lot of time when you have to like dig through lots of lines of code. So
could you also do a round in this scenario?
For justify content?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can try it. So here's what it looks like. Actually, that's the one I wanted to use, actually, not center.
Oh.
So I'll show you what center looks like. I typed center out of like habit because that's the one I use the most. Yep. So this is what it looked like centered, and there's like nothing here. It looks dumb.
Yeah.
So if you change it to a round, like Susan said, it spreads them out a bit, so it looks a lot nicer and it's easier to read.
Mm-hmm.
Good catch, Susan, because I forgot that I typed the wrong property.
Oh no, that's fine. I did it, and I was like, that looks weird.
Yeah. Yep. And it's correct in the main code, but I'm trying really not to look too much at that code.
Yeah, no, it's a great way to learn. I'm learning.
Cool.
Can you go back to your VS Code, please?
I sure can't.
Will you zoom in just one tad bit, please?
Okay. Hold on.
Never mind, you can't because it's too okay.
There you go.
Got it.
Now, is it okay if I switch back to Chrome, or do you need it?
You're good.
Everybody all right? Okay. So if you notice between this one and this one, do you see how there's like extra space? on the top and on the sides. So
Like
I'm
the
gonna, sorry.
Border and padding.
Yeah, I'm gonna add some padding, exactly. So I'm gonna add that padding. Do you know where I'm gonna add it to? What part?
Style CSS.
In the style CSS, and then what class do you think I should target?
Top.
Well, I do want to add it to the top, but what class, what element am I gonna target?
The section?
Not the section.
The container fluid.
Yeah, this container fluid right here. But I'm gonna use my main content class to do that. So I'm gonna go into my style.css and I'm gonna type .main content. And I'm gonna give it a padding, and this is where like you kind of just have to eyeball it, ballpark it, whatever looks good to you. I think it was 40 pixels. And I just did it all around. So it kind of squishes everything really nicely. You can do whatever you want. You can mess with it if you want to and make it 30, make it more. And if I save that and I refresh, now this happened because I made sure I know my style sheet was linked in my HTML file. If you don't see your style changes when you refresh the page, make sure your style.css is linked underneath your Bootstrap link in the head. And so, Carolyn, this goes to your point from earlier in class where like, how are we overriding Bootstrap? This is one of the ways you can do that. And that's why that works, because A, I created my own class so I can target whatever I want. And B, even if Bootstrap already had some padding applied, which it didn't clearly, this would override it because it comes last in my file. I just pointed at my screen like you can see me. You can't see me do that.
You said you made up a class. I mean, you didn't just make it up. I mean, you actually using an existing class, right?
Well, main content, that's not Bootstrap. That's me. These
So you can do that.
How? Yeah. Oh, yes, you can do that. Yes, you can.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like little comments for yourself in a way, because it helps you know.
Exactly.
Oh, as long as you camel case it.
So
Okay.
like, I'm not touching this feature one. I don't believe. Let me just double check. Yeah, I don't style the feature section at all separately. But it's there anyway because I like to know what section this is. Right? It's not so vague now. So yeah, and I just differentiate my classes from Bootstraps because they use dashes and I use camel case. So if you're looking at the finished code, especially if you see the camel case classes, those are ones that I wrote specifically. And if you're looking for a style, it's probably in the style.css folder.
There's something called the digital signature, in terms like when you're programming something.
Yeah.
Max talked about that a bit, but like if I'm working on something and I kind of want someone to know, well, I did this code or whatever, you would just leave a comment, right?
Yep, you could leave. I leave comments a lot in my code at work, especially I'm doing something that I think could be confusing for other people to know why I was doing it.
Right.
And so I'll leave a comment saying like, this function make sure that this input field doesn't get passed with a $sign and a comma. And it strips out all those special characters and now it's passing just a string. And
in a database, how you tell it. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'll specify sometimes what something's doing, or I can say for use or for, to see where this is being used, check this file. So that like, it's not like a wild goose chase for somebody else to find out where I'm using this code.
Yeah, because like that's your class and you maybe,
Mhm.
Full ownership
have a-
to it, you know, put your initials or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't do it all the time because generally-
Copyrighted.
yeah,
Can
I
I
would-
use it?
I don't do it all the time because generally your code should be followable, but there are times where it's definitely helpful to add like a little one-line comment or something. And when your code goes up onto like a web page, live page, that those comments don't get put up
Right.
there.
It
They're
gets
gone.
stripped. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not taking up space. It's not hurting anything. So.
Cool.
Mhm.
So if I use main content, I don't have to pay you royalties. Okay.
No, definitely not. Alina, did you have a question or somebody?
Yeah, I did. So
Oh, Ariel.
in
has-
your section class feature column large for style border 1px solid black, when I type that out, the color black isn't popping up. Is there something that I should be doing to do that?
No, it should just come up like how Christy showed you guys in CSS, how you can kind of like move this around. I think it was Christy.
Yeah, no, it was Christy. It's not working. I don't know.
Do you have a style equals with quotes and then border with a colon?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you don't, does it work? And
No.
just like the color box is not showing up?
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't. Well, that's the thing. It wasn't working, so that's why I was.
Oh, okay. I mean, this isn't.
And Dominique is having the same issue.
This part's not necessary. That was just visual, but if you wanted it.
Oh, if it's not necessary, then I'm not gonna.
Yeah, this was just like these style things were just for like visual aids towards the beginning of class. They're not.
Got it. I was just trying to catch up, like.
No, that's okay.
Your code and stuff.
Ariel has a question.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Yes, I saw her hand was raised.
Sorry, just going back, and I know you just went over this with the main content.
Mhm.
So for today, you're doing that just to point out, like, you should get in the habit of labeling it every time.
Yes.
But, okay, so like when we're doing 3-4 things in there, is over labeling the best case scenario with this so that you know exactly where you're at?
You mean with all these classes?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's not going, that was the issue I had when we did the wireframe mock-up,
Mhm.
is I was labeling to the point I was like confusing exactly what was where.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, is that the best case, just to over label and try to match it up?
I wouldn't
for
say
that?
over label. So the thing with, if I weren't using Bootstrap, this would have maybe at most 2 classes. I wouldn't have like 6 classes on something. But the reason that this has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes is because these 4 are purely Bootstrap classes. And so I would say being concise is more important. So if I'm gonna label this main content, and I feel like that's specific enough for me, then that's fine. If I have to make this like main content of product, or I wouldn't even say of main
I'm
content.
sorry, for multiples, you mean though, right? Like if you had a
page.
couple different ones for the main content, that's when you would do that?
Yeah, you can be
Okay.
as specific or as you want to be. But like in practice, you might find yourself being very specific right now. And then as you continue to like grow as a developer, you're gonna be able to be more concise and more precise with your naming. It just comes like with time and like knowing what you're targeting, right? So in a large project, naming is actually critical because you've just got to know what is targeting what and how things are working together and where they're being styled and where things are coming from. And so you will see more than one class on things often. But I think you can overdo it, but I don't think that like it's an issue that you need to worry about necessarily.
Okay, thank you.
like-
Sorry, I just wanted to verify because again, I saw it here, but we only have so many things in the main content. That's why I asked. I didn't know if that was just a standard protocol or, okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
naming is standard. Naming is important. So I would say if you're not sure, give it a class anyway. And if you don't use the class for styling, then you don't use it for styling. It's not going to hurt anything.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Can you just basically pull up your like wireframe website that we did? I just want to make sure that mine looks the same.
This one?
No, well, the headphones.
Or
one.
like the finished one?
Yep. Oh wait, the completely finished one? I meant like the one like
This one.
on the step that we're at. So how did you get your like your wireless headphones and the price to the right?
With these flex properties on the
I don't know what I'm doing. I have all of that written. I'm like going crazy. And I linked it.
the style sheet, you mean?
Yep. Link rel equals quotation style sheet. href equals style CSS.
What
with
classes
ending tag.
do you have on this div here? Or not this one, sorry. I'm sorry, not that one.
For which one?
The code is so large, I'm getting
For
lost.
main content?
Mhm.
Hold on, I have to find it. Okay, so I have div class equals parentheses main content container dash fluid deflex justify dash content dash around flex wrap ending quotation and ending tag. Exactly how you have it.
Huh.
And then in the style sheet we targeted the main content.
Oops. Yeah.
Oh wait, that didn't really, yeah. So we have it exactly how you have it. Can you go back to your code just one more time? The index HTML.
Mm-hmm. And let me go up to where you.
So, class.
Is anybody else having trouble in the chat or anything? I can't see it.
Will you go back to your style CSS one more time? I'm sorry. I just want to see if like I'm missing something. No, curly bracket, curly bracket. I don't understand.
What does yours look like?
Mine's under the thumbnails.
Yeah, so there's it's not flexing properly. There must be something up here.
Do you mind if I share my screen or are we taking up too much time? Because I can just wait until the end of class to fix it too.
Can you wait?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that so we can get this section done, and then we'll have time at the end of class, like before class ends, hopefully, to troubleshoot if that works. All right, so I need to zoom back out. My code's like way small right now, or big. Okay, so after the price, we have this this quantity like selector, like input, and then we have a button here. And so I'm gonna put these in a row together because they're side by side. So what I'm going to do is underneath the price, I'm going to create a div with a class. And I'm going to give it my own class first of action row. And if I can spell, maybe action row. And I said action row because to me, those are action like things that you do on the page that are actions. You choose a quantity and you add it to your cart. So that's the reason for my naming for this one. I'm gonna tell it to display flex because I want the input and the button to go side by side. I'm gonna tell it justify content, but I'm not gonna use center or around. I'm gonna use between because I just want a little bit, I want them to go to the end of each side of the container with the space in between. And then I also want them to be aligned to the center as well. And then Bootstrap has a bunch of like form elements and input elements and buttons. And so I'm going to use one called select, which is just a select element with a class of quantity. And this is my class. That's for me. But the Bootstrap class it's going to get is called form select. And then I'm also going to give it an ARIA label for accessibility called quantity. And then that select element gets options. So this option tag is not going to have a value. The first one's not going to have a value. It's going to be like a placeholder. And I'm going to say selected. And I'm just going to give it a title of quantity. And then the next one will have a value of 1. It's the first one. And I want it to be a quantity of 1 as well. And to save time, because coding is not only about coding well, but also about being efficient, I'm going to paste this 2 more times and change the numbers. I don't have to write words here. I could do 1, 2, and 3 if I wanted to. This is just what's going to display whatever's inside these option tags. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make the button, and then I'll stop and give you guys time to catch up. So I'm going to make a button, a regular button. And I want the button to say add to cart. And I'm going to give the button a class. And Bootstrap has a lot of, I think the Bootstrap buttons are like my favorite because they're so simple. So it has a class of button that tells it to style it like a button. And it looks really pretty and nice and clean. And then it has button classes that include the colors. So I'm going to choose button. I'm going to do button danger just for fun. And if I save that and I go back and I refresh, it's a red button. Now this isn't styled completely yet. We're going to go back and style this a little bit better in our CSS file. But there's a red button here because I used the danger class. And in Bootstrap, components, and I can go to buttons, and it has all these like, you know, basic classes you can use. So there's a warning class that makes a yellow button. There's a success class that makes a green button. The primary class is a blue button, etc. You can change the color of this button if you want, but these are just like basic ones that they give you already made. And I think I used a primary button, yeah, on the main one. So I'm gonna go back to my code so you guys can see, and I'm just gonna change this to primary. And I'm gonna stop here for a minute, give you guys a minute to catch up. And actually, while we're at it, I'm gonna give this my own class of cart button as well. You guys are so quiet and focused. Is anybody having trouble? Dana, can you see chat?
It's not much going on in the chat.
Okay, that's a good sign, hopefully.
Dominique said that, you know, this was about 15 minutes ago, that her color wasn't showing up. Alina responded that she might be missing her closing tab. Dominique, are you still having the same problem?
It was the border color, like Alina was, I think, right?
Okay. Okay, she said she's good.
Okay, cool. Thank you. You guys doing okay? You hanging in there?
Are you definitely gonna have to fix my code afterwards? I don't know. I'm coding along with us, but somewhere along the lines, I messed up because my main image was on the left, and I did like the justify content around, but for some reason it's still centered.
Can you show me? Unless
Yeah, you want me to share my screen, or do you want me to wait until after class?
Let's wait. I don't want to, if people are looking at the code.
Okay, that's fine.
It's hard virtual teaching. I can't just like walk over and look at your screen.
Oh, that makes sense. Ariel just replied in the chat. It was supposed to be content between. Is it content between? I thought it was content around. That might be why.
Oh, for the button and stuff, it's between, but
oh yeah, okay. Wait.
The other one is around. Justify content.
For the main content, that one's around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then that's not the issue. I don't know what the issue is. And then for the other one, it was.
Elena, you don't have that div. Do you have the closing tag? I thought I saw a missing closing tag, but no, never mind. It's there.
Oh, that's not my code. That's Kaitlyn's code.
Oh, are you talking about this? Brielle?
Yes, being at the end there, sorry.
No, it's okay. It does that. My formatter does it. And it's not helping. My code's like extra big. So I have my phone settings and like my computer settings. I like have my type on like the smallest type possible on like everything I own. And I don't know why, but it's just like the way I am. So when things are too big, it like completely throws me off because I don't know where my eyeballs are supposed to go. So, so it's very possible I could miss something like that. It's probably not good for my eyes now that I'm thinking about it, but it's okay.
Can you go back down to your button code by any chance?
Oh yeah, sorry. How's that? We're doing good. I think we're gonna get done with this by 8:30, this page. So that's awesome.
Where did you say you wanted to justify the content? Oh, never mind, I found it. Okay, class row.
The row. And I purposely didn't use the Bootstrap class of row because it adds some like extra padding or margin or something, and I didn't want that. So I just omitted that and just display. I used flex properties to.
Hold on, I'm like so blind right now.
Ariel has a question.
Okay, shoot.
Sorry, I'm killing you guys tonight. So I recognize we have the ARIA label for quantity. And I know we have it in the previous code from earlier, but are we doing that just because that is considered a form? Is that the only reason we're doing it for that one? Like we didn't do it above for like the main images? Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, I did it for the form, and in the images, I just did the alt tag. You can add those labels if you would like. You can add things, but I did the ARIA label for this form element. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. That Beyonce thing's got me all sorts of paranoid now.
Oh, you're fine. I'm glad that you're still thinking about it. That's awesome. Dana did her job.
Traumatized now. I'm like checking all my alt tags. No, I mean, I'm glad it's for a good reason, but I wanted to verify that was why we did it, because it was a form.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I'm not the queen of accessibility, so I'm just throwing things in there when I can remember. And trying my best here, but yeah.
I mean, also remember that by nature, a lot of what's already built into Bootstrap makes your web pages accessible. So even without the section being there, even though it's nice to put there because the assistive reader will recognize it as a section, you also have a level of accessibility that's already built into there because of the classes that are there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I have a comment about accessibility. Actually, I think one of the biggest things we could do to make this more accessible would be to change the actual image, the black background with the black headphones. It's really hard to see the headphones.
It is. And what happens with the assistive reader is you don't have to worry about that as far as someone who's totally blind, because they can't see it as long as you put in alt text. But for someone who is low vision, who is still relying on being able to see things, you definitely want to make a correction on the color contrast.
Yeah, and so that just happens to be the image I grabbed, but I can't fix that. We could pick a totally different image if you wanted to. You can totally put whatever you want in there. But that's a really good point about the image.
If I was actually building this website, I'd probably be taking my own pictures of my own products, right? So
yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah, I understand if you're just grabbing it from Unsplash or whatever, it's hard to find.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I looked for
thought is right on point.
I was like, what's a simple product I can like put on here? And I was like, oh, headphones, that's fun. And I just like, whatever, it's fine.
But just think though, that thinking ahead of time, if this were someone who was coming to your website to shop and they were low vision, they couldn't see those headphones, you'd probably lose a sale because they weren't able to see what they were purchasing.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a perfect example to drive that point home about low vision folks.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, so this div here is our row for our button and our quantity. I'm gonna style that in a second, but I wanna get our description in here. So I'm gonna do another div with a class of description. This doesn't have a Bootstrap class, but I'm gonna put p tags in here. And there's a cool shortcut. Hopefully this pops up for you guys. But if you guys ever like saw like fake text anywhere, like the lorem ipsum, whatever, like that Latin gibberish stuff, I don't even know what that is, but you can just like start typing it and it'll pop up for you in VS Code. And if you press enter, it'll add it for you. And there's also, I think like you can just Google it and like copy and paste if you wanted to. But I did 2 paragraphs here with that mock text. Just the same paragraph twice is what I did. In a description of a product, you could have a list of bullets. You could have a table with some information about the product. You could have many things in the description, but I just wanted to keep it simple and put some text in there. And then I'm gonna save and I'm gonna go to here. I'm gonna refresh and there's my blue button now and my paragraphs. And let's check on our, look at that. Our responsiveness. And we still have some styling to do because it doesn't look quite right yet, but we're getting there. So in the quantity form element, I don't like that form element is so big, like huge like this, because I don't want to take up that much space. So I'm going to target that in my style.css with my quantity class that I created. So I also do some labeling in my CSS as well. So, oh, that's not gonna work. Sorry. I like to label the sections of my CSS. So this I'm gonna say base or base. This is just like the base of like my page. So if it's the main content container, it just tells me that's kind of like basic styling going on here with a basic element. And then I'm going to make another section in my CSS. So this is a comment in CSS, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that. And if you do, just a refresher. So I'm going to make this section of my CSS called product section. And this is where I'm going to put anything that has to do with that product section is where these two product sections is where I'm going to put those styles. So both of the section tags that we use, those styles for those two areas are going to go here. And then I'm going to do my quantity class. And I'm just going to make that quantity form input a width of 30%, just because I want it to be scalable, and percentages are more scalable than pixels. And I also don't want it to take up half the thing, but I don't want it to be too small, half of the container, but I don't want it to be too small. So I just kind of like eyeballed it, what I liked, and I went with about 30%. So if I go back and I refresh, that's gonna be smaller, and I just like how that looks better. And then I have my drop down here. And this button also is not squished like it was anymore. Do you see how it's like the same height as the quantity now? It's not like a big fat button because this was pushing it that way. So it was like doing this weird squishy thing, and now it doesn't have to do that. And then I don't like how this text is so up close to these items here. And so I'm also going to target that row of items, which I called action row. Actually, this was not that one. Well, I went out of order. I'm gonna target the description first. Sorry. And I'm gonna give it a margin on the top of like 20 pixels. And then I'm gonna refresh, and it bumped it down.
Shab wants to know why you did 30%.
I just did 30% because I didn't like how 50% looked. It's pure like trial and error and purely visual. 50% would take up a lot of space. So like if I can change this for you and kind of like show you, excuse me. I just like, you can do that. It's totally fine. And this also looks fine. I wanted the button to be bigger than the form input though. So if I go back, I have my button. Actually, I want to style that too. So I'm going to do cart BTN, which is the class I made. And so I'm like trying to avoid targeting Bootstrap classes because it can be hard to override them sometimes, and you don't know what styles are being applied to them. So I'm just gonna that's why I also like my own classes, is I can just make them and target them on my own, and I know that it's gonna work. And I'm gonna give the button a width of 50%, Shah, because I want people to see that CTA and click it and add it to their cart. Like that's important to me as a business. But now my quantity and my button don't have any space in between them, and they're taking up the full width of this container, this row that they're in. So that's why I made the quantity 30%. So it gives it a little more space. So it's just your decision here. Like if you want the button to take up less space and you want this to take up more space, or you want them to be more equal, you can totally do that. It was just like a personal design decision. And in the wireframe, this button is bigger here as well. So, but it's if you want to follow the wireframe exactly, then the button actually should be bigger than 50% as well. But yeah, that's why. If anybody needs a specific file, let me know.
Button as like a drop down. But how it looks in the wireframe is the plus and the minus. That would be some other type of button.
Yeah, it'd be another input. And I think I just like got annoyed and couldn't find that one, so I didn't use it.
That's fine. I was just curious.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of curious what it was called, I guess, because it is like a slightly different.
Yeah, I couldn't find it in Bootstrap, and I'm drawing a blank on what it's called.
That's okay.
I can look it up. Hold on.
Is it a counter?
Yeah, it could be a counter. Yes. But yeah.
Form. It's a form, right? You've got it set up as. Range. No.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I just didn't know. I don't know. It was just me trying to keep it a little simpler, basically, Susan.
Kyle has a question, and Latonia said in the chat it may have a plus minus in name. Used it in our homework previously.
It could, yeah.
Kyle, what's your question?
Yeah, I think I might have missed it, but you might have done something I missed, but my button is right next to the quantity. There's not that space in between the two that you got.
Yep. So on the, where am I? On the row, this div that I gave action row class, do you have justified content between?
No, I just made a little typo. Okay, thanks.
Yep, you're welcome.
And Latonia, did you want to add something additional to your comment, to your question?
No, I just remember finding it with like plus and minus in the title some kind of way. But I don't remember.
There's something, I honestly don't know. I should know, but I don't, sorry. All right.
In the input group area, maybe we can research that later.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to know.
I know. Now my brain's like, I don't know.
I know. I'm sitting here going, I don't feel well, and I don't know.
So I'm gonna also apply some margin top to this row right here with the input field and the button because it's a little too close to the price. And I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the description. where I'm going to do, what was that called again? Action row. And I'm going to give it a margin top. And you can do 20 pixels again. You can do whatever you feel like looks good. So I feel like that was enough. I do want to style these thumbnails a little bit. There also needs some margin between, see how they're like butting up right against the feature image. So in the product section up here, I try to keep things in order. So thumbnail image is the class I gave those thumbnail images because it just made sense. And I'm gonna do a margin top. And I can do 20 pixels again. I think in my other code I did like 15, but it doesn't really matter. And that looks a lot nicer.
I'm sorry, Kaitlyn, I was looking at that code that has 15 in it. What did you pick?
That's okay. I did 20. It
Okay.
really doesn't matter. You can do 15, 20. I would try not to do too much more than that because then it's like too big of a gap. But
3.5.
it's really funny. Like these are just like typical numbers that I use like all the time when I'm working on my own stuff because it's just things that I find visually appealing. But it's really like a personal choice when it's your own project. So whatever you like and whatever looks good to you, as long as it's working on your page, then, you know, go ahead and do that. I'm not going to like be like, you didn't use the same margin or the same padding. Like, oh no, but I don't care. It's just the whole point of, you know, knowing that you need to add it and how to do it and making it work. So do it however you like. Same with the button and the quantity that Shah asked. You can do that however you like.
Can you go back to your HTML, please?
Yep. Is this where you need to be?
Well, I was actually looking at the image thumbnail section.
I'm going to stop or keep going.
No, you're good. Okay. I don't know. You'll have to review my code after.
We have one more thing we have to add before we finish class, and it is the footer on the page. So we're almost there. Oh, and I did some stuff up here with the links actually too, but oh no, I guess it didn't matter. I didn't. It's fine. So so down in the footer, we have some links here. We have this latest updates with another form element. So.
Sorry, we can't see the whole page on your screen share. Although could probably look at it. No, it all now you can.
Is it like being glitchy again? Maybe I need to
now I see additional links and all that and that green button on the right, but it was all covered up. So but I can always pull it up somewhere else too. Yeah, that's perfect.
Is that better? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know. Sometimes Zoom is weird. Okay.
Zoom is just
my computer's mad at me. It's like growling the whole time, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We shall survive. We're going to build a better Zoom app. That'll be everyone's group capstone. All right.
So yeah, so we're out of this main section now because we're going to add our footer. So underneath main, I'm going to add a footer. And inside the footer, I'm going to add a container once I close my tag, or I'll forget. I'm going to do a big container, and I'm going to have two areas, basically. I don't want to say sections, but I'm not using a section tag, but I'm going to do a div dot. I'm just shortcutting. Sorry. And then inside that, I'm going to do div and I'm going to make a row. And that row is going to encompass both of those areas. But then I'm going to make columns. So I'm going to do div dot call. I'm going to do medium 6. And then this is my first column. So I'm going to do my other column here as well. So I just know that I have both columns ready to go. Okay, we're almost there. I might go kind of fast at this part, and then because I'm getting really, really close to 8:30, so I might just go kind of quick. And if you need to stay on, you can. If not, you can try to finish the footer on your own and reference the pulled code that you have. It's completely up to you. You do not have to stay past 8:30. So let's see how far we can get right now. So we have this column here, and in that column, we're gonna have a heading. I'm gonna do a div with my own class of footer heading because I want to be able to style that and give it some padding or margin or something because I don't want it to be like so close to the edge of the container. And then I'm gonna use an H2 here because it doesn't need to be super big, but it needs to be big. I'm in the wrong spot, sorry. This is supposed to be footer nav heading, but I'm still going to use an H2. And I'm going to have it say additional links. And then underneath that div with that heading, I'm going to have a nav. So I'm going to do a div with a class equals, and I'm going to say nav because that is a Bootstrap class. And I'm going to use justify content between. And I'm also going to give it my own class of footer nav just so I know which nav this is. And I can target it separately from the top one. And I need to close this div tag. And then I'm going to have my links in here. And if you remember when we did the nav at the top, we have nav item and nav link. That's how we do the links with the Bootstrap classes. So I'm going to do it similarly here. But I'm not going to use a list. I'm just going to use some divs. So I'm going to do a div, and I'm going to give it a class of nav item. There we go. And then I'm going to do an A tag with a class of nav-link. And I'm finding some errors in my code actually that I'm gonna fix before, and they'll be up in GitHub. Because I don't know why I didn't do it the same. And this one's gonna say shipping and returns. I'm gonna save it. And then I'm gonna copy this nav item and nav link, these like two together. I'm gonna paste them, and then I'm just gonna change what the links are. So this one's gonna be terms, and this one's going to be contacts. And we'll save it. Go back. And I'm gonna refresh, and they're down here. And we didn't restyle them yet, so they're gonna look kind of weird. So you should get something similar. I'll go up a little bit. So this is the footer where we started, and this is how far we have gotten. It is past 8:30. So if anybody does need to go, I will not hold you. If you would like to stay, you are welcome. And I think I'm just gonna stop here so nobody falls behind. And we can just catch up from here, and we will finish this page tomorrow and get to the next one. So you guys don't miss anything if you do leave. Sound good? Okay. You guys did good. You coded for like a whole class. I'm proud. That's awesome. You guys should be proud of yourselves.
I was saying I'm going to hit the stop recording button unless you want me to let it continue.
You can stop if you want to.
Well, I'm asking you. I didn't know if you want.
It depends. Like if students are going to stay and ask for help, if they want that recorded, then we can record that. If they don't need that recorded, then we don't have to.
All right, then.
I think we're just going to be
stay and ask questions, but I just need to review my code, so I don't really care if it's recorded.
Yeah, I think we're just going to be troubleshooting from here. So I think it's fine to stop unless anybody has any dire oppositions.
Oh, I'm terribly opposed. You know me.
Good night to all who are leaving.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm just, yeah.
That's
Thank
okay.
you, guys.
Rest your brain, rest your eyes, take a break.
See you on the morrow.
See you tomorrow. I'm sad it's my last day teaching tomorrow.
I know, you have to come back and visit. I'll get you an apple, okay?
I'll hop on once in a while to class.
I have a job for you.
Okay.
This was when I worked for Ask Eric, we would get questions that we called out of scope that had nothing to do with why we were doing what we were doing. And when we weren't too busy, we would take time to find some stuff because, you know, librarians can't help it. Trying to find out how the apple came to be associated with education and teachers. So that's there's no due date. I did put it in the classroom workspace, so, you know, but whenever you want to figure that out and come back to me with it.
I remember Ask Eric.
Yeah, I was one of the Ask Eric digital librarians.
Oh my goodness.
And then I worked at Gateway to Education Materials as the metadata cataloging mangler. I used to tease Dave Blankus. I'd say, I'm the mangler. He's like, I hope not. And then I did that part-time from home after my little man was born. And then I worked for the NEA. So now I got new adventures. Well, good night, everybody. Thank you. Take care.
Ariel's gonna leave, but then she's gonna join back in, so you have to be sure to let her back into the Zoom chat.
Please don't lock me out. You just leave me with the kids. I just got to switch to the Mac so I can share my screen. So, okay.
Ariel, I have a quick question for you.
Me?
Yes. The issue that you're going to come back about, Kaitlyn gave everyone the option to leave the recording going. So is this piece what she's going to be going over? Would you prefer for the recording to stay on just in case you need to come back and review whatever?
Oh no, just shut that right off. Nope, I'm good.
Sorry. I'm giving everyone a last chance to say yes or no, because I know how important these videos are. They were very important to me during the first cohort. So I don't want to shut it down if someone's going to need it. What about you, Latonia, Alina? You change. I know that you said go ahead.
No, I would prefer to not be recorded actually. So
okay then. What about you, Latonia? Is there?
Yeah, I was going to say the opposite, but I don't have a.
No, Latonia, if you want it recorded, go ahead.
No, I don't have I'm actually just staying just so I can learn something extra. Like repetition just helps me. So.
Oh, perfect. Then we can leave it recorded for you. That's fine.
All right then. So.
Okay. My code needs a lot of work, I think. I don't know.
We'll fix it.
Could I share my screen?
I think it'll help people down the road if we have it, but I understand people not wanting to record, so please do not feel pressured. If you do not want to record it, that's fine.
No, I don't care. It's just my code. I
Okay,
probably
then.
have like a ton of syntax errors.
Okay, well, how about if we do this? I will, if it's okay with everyone, I'll leave it recording. And if you all, if someone pings me and say, you know what, we were not behaving ourselves during that session, can you cut it after this time? That can totally be done. Better to have it.
Well, Dana, I'm always well behaved.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Better to have it there as an option for me to cut than to not have it and to think, you know what, I really could have benefited from having something there had we kept the recording going. So we'll just do it like that. Then thank you, ladies, for your feedback.
Yes.
And Kaitlyn, do you need or want me to stay for a breakout or?
No, if you need to go, you can go. I think we'll be okay. I don't think yeah, I think we'll be fine. Just sharing and doing this.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
No, Dana.
Thank you.
Who wants to go first? I don't know if anybody has like an easier thing for you to fix. That's why I'm asking who wants to go first.
You might be the only one that needs help at the moment.
All right, I'm gonna screen share then.
Okay.
Oh, you have to close yours.
Sorry, I just realized that.
No, it's okay. It's same. Okay. Okay, so this is my code. It's messy. I'm not a professional yet. This is what
What do you have working?
This is what I have. This is, you know, it's all on one side.
Do you have something that's not working with Flex? That's what it looks like to me. So
yes. Okay, so I know that this, I put it left. I know it's supposed to be around.
Yeah.
I did it left so I could align everything.
Okay.
So I'll fix that and then we'll refresh and then it goes to the center.
Okay. Go down because I don't think that one is your problem.
Okay, so not this one. Okay, hold on. So we just did that one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one, the main content. You said that that's not the issue.
Yeah, I don't think the feature one is the issue.
Then there's this one, which I did content between.
Things jumping out at me. Let me compare really quick. I gotta make my code smaller again. That's too much.
No, it's fine. Thank you for helping me because
you're welcome.
Apparently I just don't know what I'm doing tonight.
Okay.
Well, who am I kidding? I actually don't know what I'm doing all the time because I don't code.
Interesting. Okay.
Also, do you see this style CSS? I don't know if I like did something wrong.
Go in your style,
that's
CSS. Yes, it means you have an error. See where it's underlined there? You need a colon after padding.
But there's a colon.
After like the word padding.
Oh, after the word padding. Okay.
Yep. So your error is telling you like that 40 pixels. It doesn't know what that means because you were missing that colon there.
But now it's all colon. Now it has all underlining. It's 3 now.
Is that you have a colon at the end or a semicolon? I can't tell what that is. At the end. Yeah, what is that?
That's a semicolon.
Yeah, that was a semicolon.
Padding.
Isn't it supposed to be a semicolon?
The semicolon.
This is supposed to be okay. So this is supposed to
there you go. And then you need the semicolon. Hi.
Okay.
Mama, why didn't you open the front door for us?
Because I was sitting here.
Hi, cutie.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, does anybody else see what else I did wrong? Because I saved it, everything refreshed, and it still looks the same.
Okay. Well, we fixed one thing. Go up again. I can't follow your divs, and I feel like you might have something missing. Go up more.
My prettier attachment isn't working.
Go up more. More. I love when kids laugh. It makes me laugh.
Kids laughing is magic.
It is. All right. Let's go from the top.
From the top, just kidding.
Click on this. See where you have your main tag? Click on that div tag underneath of it.
Okay.
Container fluid, display flex, justify content. Oh, your flex wrap is not working. You're missing a like a dash in between.
Like between here?
Yeah.
That's it? Are you
Save
serious?
it.
Girl, if that was it, I'm throwing this whole course away. Just kidding. Wasn't it? It wasn't it.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. But it's okay. Click on the div, like the word div, and then scroll
down.
Yeah, I want to see where it's closing. Okay, you have too many closing divs, maybe. Click on that one. Now scroll up.
Right here.
That's
Okay,
the
now
row.
click on this one. That one's right
Okay.
here. This one's right here. This
Hmm.
one's right here. This one's right here. This one's right there. This one's right here. Where does this one lead?
Interesting. I don't know.
This one leads to nowhere, so I can get rid of that. Right? That leads to nowhere. Right?
Did it?
No, I think it led to right here.
Try it.
Oh wait,
Save-
no. Okay, sorry. It leads to right here. Div class.
Yeah,
So then
you
maybe
did that for the row.
It looks like they're not lined up somewhere.
Right. That's why I'm trying to figure out like where it's.
So
actually, go up again.
Does your column have like you have one for the row and one for the column? It looks like
Wait.
maybe the column doesn't have a closing.
Alina, can you go?
Which one?
Can you go down?
Down.
Down. Down. Your section is coming after. I feel like you have.
I have two sections.
Yeah. Hold on. Can I take control of your screen real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. I wish you would have did that before.
Can you make it bigger?
Oh,
of
are you
course.
kidding me? No, sorry. It's gonna shut down.
Oh.
I don't really know if I should do this on camera. I mean, I never changed my password, so it's the password that they gave me. I'm just gonna deny it for now. Sorry.
That's okay.
Only because it's being recorded. I don't care if you guys know, because you guys know it.
No, it's okay. All right, go back up. Maybe Karen was. Why can't I find this error? It's bugging me. So you have a div and a section. Oh, your section's supposed to be in between.
This section?
Yeah. So go down. I'll show you. I think I know what's going on.
Tell me when to stop.
Keep going. Keep going. Your section is outside one of your divs and it's supposed to be inside one of them.
Probably the last one.
Yeah.
So just
nope.
space bar it over.
Nope. So
the closing section tag, move it right above that div that's just above it. Yeah.
Move it here.
Okay.
So just highlight it and cut it.
Command X and then Command V.
See if that helps. Actually, that doesn't. And then that div shouldn't be there either.
Yeah, I think that
get rid of this div.
No, the bottom one. That one's supposed to be outside both section tags.
Erase it.
Yeah. And then go down underneath this section.
Which section?
Now it's lining up. See where her line.
Yep. So now you're gonna go down past this section, and then there's a div there. Save it and see what happens.
Erase that and then save it?
No. Leave it.
Just save it.
Okay.
And see. Ah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Was I
had
supposed to align
Judy.
any of this content?
Yeah, but I can show you the code.
Yeah, so typically, is that when like Prettier would jump in and format everything for you?
So it looks like, yeah, it should, but can you click on it in the bottom right? See where it says Prettier and it has that like thing? Can you hover over it first before you click?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I already clicked.
There was like an error there. Yeah, it was telling you, so you have an error with your footer now too.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Closing
see
tab.
this?
Okay,
Footer
error
close
formatting document.
This
Unexpected
part.
closing tag in footer.
This. Yep.
This.
Nope, the closing footer tag.
This one?
Yeah. I don't know why there's an error.
159.
Is there an opening one? Where's the opening tag?
There should be an opening tag right here.
And go down. Huh. I mean, you're supposed to have it there. Has it
I
do you
was
have
just
a
trying to copy your code.
go up? Is it closed somewhere else by accident? My eyeballs hurt. I can't see it.
Yeah,
It's hold on. It's like ginormous on my screen at the moment.
No, not for me. I wish it was.
This is cool. I didn't even know that this like whole
So
section was.
it might be that one of the divs doesn't have a closing tag, which is why it's having a fit. Sometimes that happens too. I know
Oh,
that
yeah,
sounds
that's true.
stupid, but
No, it's not. All right. So now your problem's in the footer. Let me show you my screen and you can double check yours. Like,
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing then, so you can do yours.
okay. And hold on.
Whoa.
Okay.
Ooh, you're gonna have to zoom in, girl.
I am. This is how I look at my code all the time. It's so bad for my eyes, I'm sure. But
Oh, I know. I'm trying to read everybody, so I'm like into the screen. Terrible.
okay.
Okay, so start at footer.
There you go. That's the whole footer.
Okay, div class container fluid. Okay, it's not that line. Class row. Not that line. Column, div class. Okay. Div class footer, nav heading. Okay, H3 additional links. Div, you have a closing.
You
div
comment.
right there. Div class, nav.
it's
justify.
weird. It's
I'm so used to like React and like other.
I know, but you were on the right track. It's like
is it this?
no, you were doing it right. No, it's not that. You were doing it right. It's that, and then the comment, I think, and then so like write whatever comment in there.
But that's CSS, I thought.
And I think it's HTML too, though, or maybe they're backwards.
For a comment for HTML?
I can't remember. I'm so dumb.
The less than sign, exclamation point, dash, dash, comment, dash, dash.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I'm used to, so I don't use HTML like on the daily. I do it in React. So, oh, okay.
No exclamation at the end, just the beginning.
Oh, yes. Thank you. You're teaching me something.
Yeah, I don't use it that often either. So I'm like,
I've been in Bootstrap for like 24 hours now. So at this point, I'm like, yeah, whatever, I got it.
I'm just leaving a comment for myself for tomorrow.
and I'm trying to get out of Angular mode. So that's like a whole nother ball of wax.
Yeah. So it's weird how everything's so different. And then I like forget simple stuff like that. Like I don't know how to comment. I know how to like do like command with like a thing, but
yeah,
whatever.
Now you undid your comment, Kaitlyn.
Mm-hmm.
Just take Command Z. It'll go back a couple times. There you go.
Side note, because I wrote a list of questions, so I apologize. I've been chatty Cathy tonight, and I know you're trying to get out
That's
of here.
good. I like it.
Well, one of us does. So the first thing is you did the lorem ipsum.
Yeah.
I didn't get that to pop up at all. I definitely have song lyrics right now on my mock-up. What did you do to get that? Is this like the whole exclamation point tab thing that got you the first doc?
Yeah, it's Emmet, which is like
it's a setting.
It's like Emmet is like the built-in formatter, like helper of VS Code. And it is like, it provides like all those little shortcuts and stuff. I'm going to see if I can find in the settings.
Does that also do the div dot to make a class? Because that was not a thing I had, and that totally screwed me up when you were showing it.
I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, so like I can do all kinds of stuff too. Like you can do like div dot, I can do, oh, that's not gonna work. Div dot,
oh cool, Alina. That's okay.
Did it work?
She was missing a div tag.
Yay!
Yeah, I don't know. I was just going line by line. Like
that's okay.
Do you know how many times I did that?
I
So
think
you can
that
do-
my VS Code is very, I don't know, maybe because it's still new to me, but I think that it's very touchy. Like when I try to use like the shortcuts, it actually messes me up in the long run.
You might have a weird setting turned on that is like auto completing stuff for you.
Or it could be a setting isn't turned on. I was going to say the same thing with Ariel's. If she's having issues like that, it could just be a setting that either is turned on or one that isn't turned on.
Ariel sounds like hers isn't turned on, but Alina sounds like it's on like overdrive.
Yeah.
Oh, I have multiple issues. I somehow managed to flexbox our main content container, and I don't know how, because I hit an accidental key and hit tab.
Oh.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that my bottom 3 links are not spreading out like yours are. They're in a column instead of a row.
You might be missing a div tag like in between your div classes, because that's literally what I was missing, just one. And then once I fixed it, all spread apart.
And I have this Ariel on the div with the nav.
And I can't even find it. Okay.
I know.
I had to grab yours for the thumbnails. I showed Dana because my thumbnails went like this down.
Yes, that's what Alina's was doing, and she was missing like a closing tag or in other random stuff, or she had too many things, or
I couldn't find it. And I think part of it, and nothing against you, everybody codes differently. I think because you keep putting your end tags in the next row.
Yes.
I have also possibly been trying to do that this entire time.
So that is like, I think I would say like the majority of people do that because it's easier to read instead of trying to go all the way across.
Yes.
So it's not just me, but it is something that like, I think it will become more helpful to you as you get used to it. But it is very common to see it like this.
Okay, so here's a question, because I watched some of the Cohort 1 videos a while back for the capstone. It was, you guys did the Starbucks menu thing.
Yes.
And whoever that professor was had said, shut that off. Did you find that more helpful or not?
To shut this off? I don't remember that.
Like to shut it off so like when you're typing div, it doesn't do the end tag as well.
Hey,
because that seems to be part of my issue.
So I think when we were starting out, it was more annoying than it was helpful, and he wanted us to like type things out, and that was probably part of it.
Yeah, I need to learn how to shut mine off because I would rather it not pop up and just do it manually if it's gonna act stupid like this.
It's in that video. If you go to YouTube, and it's one of the first, I want to say it wasn't quite CSS, but I can send it to you if I go back in my history. He tells you how to shut it off. I just didn't because I'm lazy. So I'm just wondering now if maybe I should, because like I'm noticing maybe that's where my stuff isn't lining up, because it did it with my capstone with Bootstrap today earlier as well. Like everything, like I made cards for the profile for my stuff and it went like this on the cards as well.
Yeah, it's probably adding weird stuff that you don't want, like you said, like the closing tags when you don't want them closed yet. I also like make my closing tag as soon as I make my opening tag so that I know I'm not forgetting it.
Well, that's why I was keeping it, because I had a tendency in a prior boot camp, I would forget them. So I figured this was the best course, but I'm seeing now, like, looking at, this is yours, right, Kaitlyn? Your
The one that
screen?
you're looking at, yeah, that's mine.
That is not at all what mine has. 87 divs at the end tags at the bottom. And I don't know
Yeah,
what goes to what anymore. Yeah, you have 3 there, your second class, which I don't have, and then 2 more. I have like 6, and I'm starting to wonder if they're not lined up. I've tried to change them, move them. I've looked for end tags, and my stuff is not. I'm aware it's a simple, there's got to be like a syntactic kind of thing, but I can't find it.
My best solution is go line by line and try to follow your elements and make sure you can find, like, it's kind of hard once you get like too far gone, because like you just have to know. I'm gonna post this code in Slack right now also.
Okay.
I'm just gonna copy it.
I compared yours from your GitHub, because that's what Dana had said, like, you have it all on the GitHub.
I do.
I had compared yours with mine, literally right under it. I copy and pasted right under it, and I still could not find the issue. So then I split them left and right, could not find the issue. I eventually just cut mine and put yours, and it worked. So I don't know if it's
gotta be
something missing.
Something small, and it's so hard to find it sometimes. It's the most frustrating thing. And I'm sorry.
That happened to me,
because I
though.
feel like I'm taking up your time trying to figure out where the thing is.
It's okay, Ariel, because I definitely feel that way too. So you're not alone, and I'm sure that they don't mind.
I usually grab this so quick, and now I know that it's like it's like a backslash or something, and it's killing me because I can't find it.
I did that.
Absolutely.
If you
Go ahead.
watched the videos where we did the Syracuse.com, I went line by line in that code because I was missing like a closing tag. And the only way that I could get it was to literally go every single line and compare my code to their code. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. That was it. That was what my issue was.
Like, I cannot find it. And I'm like, it's to the point where I'm probably gonna have to walk away for half an hour, get them to bed, and come back, because I'm like, I can't. And I recognize we've learned rows and columns. We've learned how to separate them. If you look at my wireframe, I clearly learned the difference. Yep, I'll have to find it. Okay. I think that was Kaitlyn, what was it you need? Was it the MWB thing you wanted me to pull up and send you a screenshot of before I go?
Was it that, or was it no, it was the the app or something that you mentioned.
Oh, I put that in Slack.
Yeah.
Oh, well then we're good. Okay.
Yeah.
Kaitlyn, are the additional links, they're supposed to be like more towards the left of the screen, or they're supposed to be centered? I feel like I have a lot of padding, but I'm not really sure.
Mine look, they look funny for now because we didn't style anything, but they should look like this. There's a lot of space.
Okay, yeah, because that's how mine
I'm
looks.
sorry. Look like what? Wait, do you still have your HTML up in Chrome?
Yeah.
Can I see that, please? Because mine are all on the left, and I'm wondering if that's what you're talking about, or if you're talking about not spaced.
It's open right now, but I don't know if you can see the bottom of my screen.
I don't know what that might be my code. I apologize. No, I can't see the bottom of your screen.
That's so strange. Why is that?
It cuts off at additional for the Zoom thing.
Go up to your view options and select like 50%. That's the only way that I can see.
Mine, Karen?
Yep. That's how I can see all of Kaitlyn's whole screen.
Oh. Yeah, mine don't look like that. Okay, just checking. Thank you.
Also, is your prettier working on your VS Code?
So I was about to ask you as I'm watching you guys do that. I don't know what that is.
I don't think my prettier is working either.
I don't recognize. You had it in a terminal. I don't know what that is.
You might have to restart VS Code, Alina, for it to work.
Okay, so I should save this, and I should
just save it.
And then
you don't need to pull anything. You just save it and close it. It'll be fine.
Is this something you just brought up?
Don't lie to me, Kaitlyn. I will be so upset.
Or is this something I missed in a previous class?
The code editor that I use. You might have to. Do you have to install Prettier into VS Code, Kaitlyn?
Yeah, it's an extension.
Yeah, she already did, and I told her how to turn it on as the default formatter.
Wait, so do I need to do that?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it tomorrow for the whole class, but if you want to do it now, we can do it now. Just give me 1 second because I'm trying to put this CSS in there.
Yeah, Karen, the code formatting one?
Yep.
Not the handlebars one? Okay. Just verifying before I download a bunch of stuff. Okay, and I need to restart VS
You'll-
Code for that?
You'll need to restart VS Code for that. Yeah, I had to think about what I was saying because I use WebStorm for my code editor, and now it comes pre-installed.
Oh, Prettier does?
Yes.
That's nice.
I'm
Yeah.
not entirely sure that worked. It literally opened right back up to what I had and I quit it. Okay. So I believe I have that in. So what is my next step? And I apologize. I was late trying to
No,
update
that's
Zoom.
okay. Is
So
it?
you have Prettier, you said?
I think so.
You might have to enable it.
So you have to go to preferences and settings. So if you
Okay.
go to code, preferences, settings, then search the word format in the settings.
Okay.
And then you're gonna have like this drop down here where it says default formatter.
Okay. I apologize because I'm looking at my screen and not, I can't even find yours. There we go. All right. And I'm looking for Prettier.
Yep, it might say like this ESBENP.prettier on yours instead of just Prettier.
Yes. Thank you for saying that because everything else was VS Code. Okay.
Yep. And then so you click that. And then on this one right here, you're going to say format on save. And you're going to make sure that's checked.
Okay.
And then actually for this format on save mode, make sure you're formatting the whole file when you save.
Okay.
And
Wait, please hold. So when I try to go down past format the whole file, I'm sorry, that's not a clickable link, right? It's either file or modifications. File is format whole and then modifications, format modifications.
Yeah, you just want.
Okay, just checking. I went to try and click format whole file and that was not an option. Okay.
Yep.
And then
Wait,
I'm good
it should
to-
just say file for that one, not the modification.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you wanted to save your entire, you wanted to format your entire file as you're coding instead of just the edits that you just made.
Okay.
Yeah. Because then if you like mess something up, it'll reformat it for you.
Oh, okay.
Elena, was that after you reset everything?
Yeah, that was after I reset everything during class, but I never saved VS Code and like reopened it. So I just saved it and reopened it, and it all worked and lined up and everything
Yay.
looks pretty again. Hey, Kaitlyn, what were you talking about themes? Do you mind running through that, or I can watch a YouTube video?
What was I talking about?
Like a themes to download themes.
Oh, the themes. Yes. So in an extension, was it the icon one, or did you want me to talk about the colors?
No, like a colored pretty one.
So I have
I
this one called, I have one called Code Sandbox. And it's just Code Sandbox theme, like this. If you Google that,
Sandbox
theme. And I use this because I use React a lot, so it's good for React. See how all these colors pop up? It's so helpful. But
yeah, okay, I see exactly.
so
I'm
you
picking it
install
up.
this and enable, and then you can set it, I believe.
Perfect.
Real quick,
And
I
it works.
apologize.
Let's see
I'm
if
just
it
making
works.
sure this is for VS Code. So like I don't have, because I think Elena and I have the same color scheme. She was talking about orange earlier.
Yeah,
Yes.
orange and blue. And it was so hard to see. This is so much easier downloading.
Okay, I thought it was me because I'm legit colorblind.
No.
No,
I
seriously.
was
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Oh my god.
it all looks green. I don't know what you're all talking about. I don't
No. Oh my
Hey,
god.
Ariel, they actually have themes for colorblind.
Do they really? Because I know I have it on like my iPhone, but I haven't figured out on the MacBook yet how to
I've
do
never
it.
tried.
Okay, hold on, PJ. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to verify that's what that was for because I noticed you and Max, and I think Karen will have different colors on yours, and we have like it's a weird orange and green. I don't know.
Yeah, orange, orange and blue, and
I'm not
yeah,
the best person to
green.
ask on what colors they are, but they're pretty bland and gross. Okay.
And it's very hard to read. And then everything starts turning white and red. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know.
That's
This is so
fine.
much easier.
I don't know. You have to research. That's not one, but interesting. I didn't know that. I'm gonna stop the recording, by the way. If anybody doesn't care.
No, I don't care.
All right.
No, and I apologize because I,